Here we go. First, you're all looking at me as pressure. First four-way podcast I've ever done. So
first four-way or first four-way podcast?
No comment. His partner's next to him. I think we should start. Everyone say happy birthday. For anyone who is able to comment anywhere, it's Brandon's 29th birthday today. And he's here, sat with us. So what a terrible way to start your birthday.
Didn't even know until he was on his way in.
I know.
So he sung happy birthday as he arrived.
I would have made him eat a 15-person. Do you remember those tray bakes? Do you remember those tray bakes?
I do,
like chocolate
You're
tray
too young,
bakes.
bro.
No, 15-person tray bake. I used to have one of those.
You get a chocolate one or the white one with all the different sprinkles.
I used to have that as a dessert on a cheat meal. Whole fucking thing.
Is this an English thing? Because I have no freaking idea what you're talking about.
Corey was 130 kilos fat.
Yeah, I was potato mode. But anyway, it's Brandon's birthday today, so if everyone, depending on when he gets his ass together and actually post this, can everyone wish him happy birthday?
Probably in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, 100%. He'll be 32 and a half by then. So.
And he chose to spend it with us. How sweet.
I know. It's just such a nice guy.
Thank you.
I will dive into it. Me and Corey, obviously, if anyone doesn't, go watch the other episode because I'm not going to talk about that. But we've already spoke. Steph's been on quite a few podcasts. We did a bit of a prep series. But Mads is the only one who people might not know who you are, Mads.
I'm fresh.
So,
I'm not totally fresh, but I'm fresh to this.
Give us all an insight because Steph doesn't know either, probably.
Yeah, I've never met Steph before, ever. I don't know anything about me.
Just give us like anyone that doesn't know you, just an insight into like, I don't know, high school, like where did you grow up and things like that. Just a bit about you.
Do you want a minute or do you want like 10?
We've got an hour and a half.
Wow, okay. Don't like the sound of my voice that much.
Strap in, ladies and gents.
I'm a northerner. I have not lived there for a long time, but I grew up in the north of England. Can you tell?
No.
Not really.
No?
No. Well, you don't sound harsh.
It's washed out of you.
No.
Spending time down south.
Oh, okay.
That's
With
right.
spending time with you.
The power of the South.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went to uni and I was a civil engineer. Did you know that?
I knew you were smart.
You mentioned that last time, yeah.
Oh,
Briefly.
no. She already knows. So I was an engineer and decided I didn't want to work a 9 to 5 anymore. And it was like 9 to 9, to be honest. I was like traveling up and down the country and I just got to a position. I was like, I don't want to do this. My life is just going to look like long hours, lots of traveling. If I have a family, I'm not going to see them. I was like climbing the corporate ladder. So although I thought that was like, I was super career, I want to be like CEO of a company and I want to climb my way. I was like, not for me.
What is a civil engineer?
What is a civil engineer?
It's actually a good question. I actually don't know.
Is it?
Buildings, roads, bridges. I used to manage like redevelopments. So we'd go into a town centre and just sort of demolish it, rebuild it, pave it, put fountains in, do all that sort of stuff. Take down bridges, rebuild motorways. So I used to manage all those like a project manager for those sites.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last time we were on and we were speaking about masculine energy? Mads was like a 25-year-old girl, blonde, small girl, managing 50-year-old blokes with shovels
on an
around.
industrial site.
Yeah, masculine energy.
I was a bikini
I was the
competitor
same.
then as well. And I was like, were you really?
Yeah, but I was managing people in sleep science and they were like 50, 60, sometimes 70-year-old people as well that were pretty much like children, but also 25-year-old bikini competitor.
You're like my Australian clone.
That's probably why you guys get along.
100%. Super pussy power. Should we just fuck off and go and get a
they'll
birthday
have a great
cake?
chat.
Yeah, see you later.
When did you get into like, because obviously like, when did you get into fitness and like the bodybuilding scene? Like, how did that all come about?
I played really high level football for years and years and years from like young age, so like 6, 7
We're
years
talking about
old.
soccer football, right? Like real football.
Soccer, if you're American. Oh, yeah.
But I get confused sometimes.
We say soccer.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, you have to
There you
convert
go.
it to them still
Same
as
thing.
well.
Soccer. Is that how they say it?
I don't know.
It depends who they are.
I'm terrible at accents.
If you're talking about the Aussie next door, so
No.
you probably,
Yeah, and I just transitioned into like the gym more from there. I got a bit older and a bit injured. I was like 25, my knees were hurting, and all these 16-year-olds were coming through and they were just faster than me, quicker than me, better than me. And I was like, oh God, I probably need to retire now. So I just retired from that and just like went into the gym.
Okay, so like 25, or were you in the gym
Yeah,
earlier than that? 'Cause
no, I
that's
was-
not that long ago.
I was in the gym. Thanks, Brandon.
Well,
Saying
it's
that I'm
not
nice
though,
and
is
young.
it?
I'm 31.
Yeah, but 6 years. I'm
Oh,
just saying wrong.
God.
If I've been,
It's like 2 times longer than my career. And you've achieved
Yeah,
more.
no, I went.
So, yeah.
I was just training in the gym because I just thought I don't know what else to do. I want to like stay in shape, so I just started doing that. And then I met Corey, who followed me around a lot. I think you already spoke about that, didn't you?
Nope.
Oh, that's new. Then we can talk about that
We
today.
did it at lunch, not on the podcast.
Yeah, that's why I get confused about. Like, did we say that at
We've
lunch?
had
Or
too
did we
much
say
conversation. That's the problem.
Yeah. But yeah, I just got into the gym because I was like every early 20-year-old, I think, was just very conscious of what they look like as well. I think that's quite an important thing to talk about. Like, I wanted to stay in shape, and I did it because I wanted to look good, not necessarily because I wanted to be like fit. Like, I just wanted to carry on looking good. So I got stuck into the gym, and then I sort of just transitioned slowly into bodybuilding. I like touched on it quite a bit when I was at uni and still playing football, and I was kind of doing both, and I realized I couldn't do both because they don't really align that well.
Yeah,
so then I continued pursuing football. I had a better community, like friends. You have a good social, don't you, when you're part of a club? So like it just suited my life, and then I sort of came away from it and just transitioned slowly into bodybuilding.
Yeah.
There's nothing slow about it, Mads. You literally jumped straight into a
Oh,
prep
yeah.
for
Do you
the,
remember
for the British
COVID?
finals out the back of COVID.
When COVID happened, that was the first time I'd ever done like a prep or a diet. Like, I'd never done a diet before, ever. I just like lived at like 55 kilos. I'd never really done a diet. And Corey was like, why don't you prep? And I was like, okay. And I just
Massive
dieted.
enabler. I was like, come over to the dark side. Guys. enable me.
We were in COVID. I couldn't get to a gym. I had this awful setup in my dining room. Do you remember these York Fitness things? You'll
They're
know.
great,
So,
yeah.
for someone who's a civil engineer, your health and safety regs in that living room is absolutely awful.
I had
think
one of these
everyone's
York
was in
How
that
you
Fitness
stay
sets.
attached, I'll never know.
I had these York Fitness sets from Argos. It was like 90 quid, and I got it right at the beginning of lockdown. And I accumulated all these different weights, and I was like strapping them to the thing. I had this really rickety rack.
You did really well with those steel plates, though.
Amazing. Yeah, I did. I don't know.
25 kilos.
Anyway,
Broke my
it's a
toe.
death trap. So I prepped for the British finals. There was no regionals that year. I don't know if you remember. There was no regionals, nothing in the UK. There was just the British finals in
I think so.
2020.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And I just did the British finals. I did all right.
You did really well. I talked her into it because Mads is sensible, number one, masculine energy, all that sort of stuff. And she was like, this doesn't really make sense. I'm like, no, go for it. Just do an hour of HIIT on the stairs, all that sort of shit. Shotgun. But no, it was like, I just got her every 4 weeks. I was like, we'll reassess in 4 weeks and we'll see where you are. And you were moving. I think you ate more that prep than you ever have your entire prep, didn't you?
Yeah, I got peeled.
You
as
did
well.
get peeled. Yeah, you got
I
in
had
shape.
one of these like little Everlast bikes. You remember
Oh,
that?
God,
Little
yeah.
fold
That,
away
like,
ones.
ticks as you go around.
Yeah.
Awful.
And then your bum's just got red bruises and
Awful.
sores from it.
Yeah.
Resilient though. Resilient. Anyway, I did that prep, and that was it really. From there, just sort of transitioned into that as a sport. Me and Corey were together, so it just worked really.
I feel like this
I
is
think
way
naivety
sooner
gets you
than
through.
I actually thought.
Yeah.
Because that's like 5 years ago, not even that. Like that's, or maybe 5 years ago now.
Yeah, well, COVID was 2020. We're now in 2025. Yeah, so it was only 5 years ago. Yeah.
Shit.
But it happened quickly. Like, I went into bodybuilding and I started coaching. I'd done a bit of coaching before that because I'd been in fitness forever. I'd done a bit of like fitness coaching,
Yeah.
but not like bodybuilding coaching. It was different. Like, I did diets for people and stuff. But I think through COVID, that transitioned and so many more people went into coaching, went online, and it just
Yeah.
changed the industry, right?
Yeah.
So I just started doing that on the side, and I was getting further and further into my like corporate career, and I just was like, wow, this looks so much better. I can just do that. Like, how much better? I can have more free time. I was watching Corey, like, sat on the sofa every single day, like, working from his phone. And I was like,
This
you're
isn't
earning
work.
twice what I'm earning, and you just sit there all day at home. Like why am I doing
On your
this?
Disclaimer.
sofa.
On my
It was
sofa,
amazing.
yeah. Moved in with
It was
me.
amazing.
I was like, what is this? And I think I just really loved it. And I think that was the start point. Like, I really loved it. I felt like I was good at it. I can apply myself to stuff. I think that is like the bit of masculine energy. You're like, right, I've got a goal and I'm just going to do it. Like, nothing really would distract me.
Sounds familiar.
Very, 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 like, I can just do
How,
this.
how annoying is that? How annoying is that? So
Seriously.
frustrating.
Acceptance.
Do you know what? Do you know what?
I like it. You need to learn more from Brandon.
I do. I'm super
Course-
sit on the
resistant.
sofa and accept.
There's
all the
no
time.
point
No
in getting
acceptance.
involved.
No.
It's just like
Resistance.
100%. Yeah,
go
do
full
things.
steam.
You can't-
I really rate it. I think it's because the last time we sat down, I'm talking to you about like a 10, 12, 15 year career experience of like,
Yeah.
So naturally you're expecting Mads has probably had,
No, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
Mads just stepped into it. In all fairness, took the ball by the horns and literally just attacked it. But it's one of those things where if she is going to do something, she'll do it 110%. And probably at detriment in some way, shape or form sometimes. Like,
100%.
But also the reality of power of accumulation, those 1% do not get missed. Like this is a human being, bearing in mind we've coached probably collectively thousands that I've honestly, not even gassing so I can sleep in the same bed with her tonight, like she never missed. Like doesn't fall off her diet, rebound, reverse. Like I've never seen her either that or I am so still on the sofa. Like I'm proper sleep raw vibes where I'm like energy of I don't know what's happening, but life just moves around me.
Yeah.
But I've never seen her miss at all. She's unbreakable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why she's with me. High five.
Yeah.
Good effort.
That is actually a good point.
Yeah, it's surprising. From an accountability perspective, it's really frustrating, you know, because I consider myself a human being. And if I don't accept the reality of slips, then like life just doesn't happen. But she doesn't miss.
Yeah.
She doesn't miss.
No, it actually it's kind of weird because like you're stuck, because it's the same. I've been doing this for 5 years longer than you.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you're like, yeah, it's just a comparison thing. I just assume you've been doing this for 15 years.
Yeah.
But it's the same as like Steph. It's like we met and you weren't coaching online really.
I was doing posing.
Yeah, you were doing posing like 40, 50 hours of posing a week. Yeah. But then literally from there she was like, oh, I'm just going to getting sick of it posing. And then as soon as she's like, oh, I'm just going to get into like prep coaching, like straight away you're like a million inquiries, everything like that. And you're like, how the fuck are you doing this? It's insane. Yeah. And then since then it's just been like, oh, bring on coach,
yeah.
It's mad. Respect.
I do think it's an energy thing of, like, you can call it masculine energy. I think in like our space, it's actually very strong feminine energy, but it's like very authoritative. So I feel like doesn't matter what I do, I can be like, if I'm doing this, like Corey said, I'm 100%. And I'll talk about it with authority and I'll act like it's everything to me. And when you are like that, people feel that energy.
Yeah.
People trust that person. They trust the energy. They trust that you're like a reputable person. They want to work with you. And like you'll be exactly the same probably. That's why you do so well.
Talking about it. Yeah.
Because you give off this like, I'm in charge, I know what I'm doing, and this is how it should be done. And people are like, okay, yeah, like, you know.
Yeah. But again, we spoke about this. I'm like, probably both your childhoods probably it's quite similar as well.
Yeah.
Like I know for Steph, like she feels like she has to, if she doesn't look after herself, she has nothing. So she's always being like, I have to do this because no one's going to save me.
Yep.
And that's her mentality. I'm like, it's a great mentality to have.
Yes.
Because it's like, all right, cool. If this doesn't work, like there is no plan B. Like it has to be all in, and that ripples into a prep, or that ripples into anything. Yes. And again, probably a downfall. It ripples into friendships or relationships where you give them so much, then they give you 80%.
Yes.
Kind of all forms, but
yeah,
it's definitely. I don't think it's a. I don't know. Like I don't think it's a. It's like when we talk about masculinity and things like that. I'm like, I don't think it really exists. It exists, but like, there's more balance between males and females now than there ever has been. I think it's a bit irrelevant sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, she's stronger at certain things that are actually more masculine than I'm more feminine because I'm more emotional and things like that. So it's like, why can't both roles kind of work together?
100%.
I think it's a mixed thing with nowadays that's pushed more so online. It feels like you need to be this and you need to be that.
Yeah, like men should be that person doing this and women should be that person
like,
doing this.
I'm like, if you want to earn a fucking empire, and I'll happily stay home with the kids. That sounds fucking great.
That's great.
Yeah, I want to do that. I just want to have a little coffee shop and like have kids running around. I'm like, that sounds the dream. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, that's you.
I think it's just understanding who you are. Again, like, who are you as an individual? Have you done enough work on yourself to understand what you bring to a table? And then also, are you happy with the person who you're with and what they're bringing to the table as well? You know, I said to you last time, I don't agree, and if anything, I am anti keeping up with the Joneses. I'm anti modes of necessity. You need to do this. You have to do this. I don't vibe with that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not the type of person. I don't hold those characteristics that I can have that level of. That's why I work for myself. I'm unemployable. Don't tell me to do anything. I am more than happy to provide, materialize, but I can't be in that setup or situation, right? So if you're talking about two very, very different people, even when we got together, and I imagine it was the same for you both as well, you know, I think for a relationship to work, there has to be, number one, an understanding of who you are, and then number two, an understanding of who the other person is. And if that other person doesn't understand who they are in the first place, then I think you're like destined for probably failure, or not failure, you're destined for turbulence. And the reality of people sticking around for that turbulence is very, very thin, I think, in today's day and age. Yeah. Because there's always something else to look for, right? There's glitz and glam everywhere. You can go on Instagram and you'll be like, oh, well, she's doing this or he's doing this. Oh, well, they'd be a bit better fit for me. Like, you don't even know who you are. Yeah. You know, so people fall in and out of relationships all the time because they're actually in a position where they don't even know what their own values are. You know, like Mads is more than aware because she's done work on herself, and I'm sure it's the same for you, Steph, and Brandon. But Mads has done enough work on herself to understand that, yes, okay, I have done everything in my previous life because of the reality of things that I've experienced, right? And you can say childhood, and I won't say childhood trauma because I think that's a really, really bad word to use, but childhood experience has shaped and molded me to be this type of person. And as a result, I found myself playing football because I want to thrive in my masculine energy, but only because I feel like I have to. Yeah. I'm a civil engineer because I feel like that's where I can really stretch myself because I want to be in that environment. And when you come to a relationship where, for example, like me and Mads, where it's just like, well, in actual fact, I can do anything providing I have inspired action. I'm 110% on it. If I'm not, I won't do it. You know, so in an environment where you've got somebody who is, I spoke about hunters and farmers. Yeah. Who's a hunter who understands the reality of I'll put a brick down every single day, and in 6 months' time there'll be a house. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not putting one brick down. I'll put 10 bricks down today. If I get bored of it, I'll just leave it there. You know, I'm on to this now. Yeah. You know, so providing there is an understanding. We talk about expectations, right? Yeah. Like, what's Mads' expectations from me as a husband? What's my expectations from her as a wife? Are we both meeting that? Yes. Well, in that case, we're free to do whatever we want. Yeah. And if that means Mads wants to sit on the laptop till 10, 11 o'clock at night, I might be reading the Bible at fucking 8 o'clock and I'll be going to bed at 8:30. See you later. Yeah. You know? We're not going to get divorced. We're not going to break up because it's all good. Yeah. We love each other, and providing we're turning up for each other when it's necessary, we're fine. You know.
Go through a lot of change as well, I think, because people.
It takes a lot to go through that, doesn't it, to get there?
Well, yeah, it does. But what I was going to say is that you change as people a lot through your relationship, not just because of your relationship. I talk about I was like you the same. You were working for a corporate company, right? And then you were posing, and then you went from that to then being self-employed. And then obviously growing your own business, working for yourself, then moving to another country. Like they're like all very separate. If you looked at those as like separate people, they're so different, those people. Like, and you change so much through that time. So like when I met you, I was in that like I was in a contracts manager role, managing like a number of those different developments. I was in charge of like 200 blokes, managing millions of pounds worth of contracts. And I was up early. I had to get up super early, go and do my hour of hit. Then I'd do like, then I'd work all day, come home, then gym. And I was like militant with everything. And Corey was like the opposite, working for himself, chill. And so like we were like completely different people. So that was really challenging at first. And now we live like very similar lives. So obviously it makes things a little bit easier. But when I went through that transition of working corporate and then working for myself, I don't know if you were the same. I went through a period of like real personal struggle because I was like, I was used to feeling secure. My mum has like a secure role where she gets salary every month. My dad does, my stepdad does. Everyone like in my growing up environment was like, you don't work for yourself. Like you work for the council or you work for a company and you climb the ladder and then you get a pension. So I was like going out on my own and I like struggled with that a lot, didn't I? That transition of like not knowing what's the future look like. Will I always earn? Will I not? Where will I live? How will I get a mortgage? Like all these things, I would just like panic about the future all the time. Like worry, which was like a big personality change from how I used to be. Yeah. So you change a lot as a person as well through like your decisions and life.
You still have that now though?
I still do have that now. I just deal with it better now. Yeah. But I don't know if you were the same when you...
Yeah, I was going to say, how did you feel?
How did you feel like when you went from that corporate... Brandon's like, I don't even know the answer to this. But like when you
Come on,
went
Steph,
from
tell us.
Yeah.
when you went from that, I still feel like I struggle with that a little bit now. I'm way financially better off by like 10 times than I was, but I still feel like more worry about it now from that transition to being like self-employed.
I think that's the thing when you have your own baby though now, isn't it? When you have your own, when it's your responsibility to get up every day and put food on the table, you know that even if you show up at work and you're a bit ill, you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You're still getting paid.
Your salary comes through.
Like,
yeah.
if you're-
and your pension pot's still building in the background.
But if you like, if you're talking to clients and you're talking a bit, then I'm not being the best me, which means they'll drop off and then that spiral goes.
Yes.
Where you think, and then you think, and then everything's gonna, and they can all leave me tomorrow and we have nothing.
Yeah.
So it's always that, but then again, I think it's always that fear that keeps you going. There's that kind of subconscious thing being like, oh, I like what? Like I need to make sure No,
Did you struggle with it? I struggled.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt. When did you? I actually don't know this. When did you go from sleep to posing? When did you actually start doing posing full?
So I went from university into sleep. So I did exercise science, and then I got offered a position in the sleep science field before I graduated. So I went into that, climbed the corporate ladder, like as you said, in that, got to pretty much the highest role possible. And then
In about 2 weeks, probably. Walked in, you're promoted. Why?
I was literally like,
got it, Gil.
I had a contracts manager role and I've been in the company like less than 4 years. I did my graduate program, got promoted, got relocated to the south, was being put in London, and there was people who were like 55 who like hadn't even been offered that job yet. And I was like,
Fuck, that's pretty cool.
yeah, absolutely. Like in my department, I was working in operations management, and prior to that, I actually with another guy, we built the training department to basically teach people how to do sleep studies, stuff. But when I got into operations management, it was me and two other older ladies. One was like 65 and one was like 55. So me, I think I was like 24 at the time. I basically just got to the highest that I could, and I learned everything in the company that I could. So I naturally got bored because I was like, oh, well, where can I go from here? What's next? There's nothing. At the time, it ended up being a good time that I left anyway, because the Medicare rules in Australia, which is like the bulk billing system, they changed their rules at the time.
yeah,
So basically, the company ended up collapsing literally overnight just by Medicare literally wiping the rules, which is fine because I was pretty bored and out of it at that time anyway. So from there, I actually went into plastic surgery, like same kind of control structure.
same kind of
thing,
role, but different.
Yeah, but different. But in my previous career in sleep science, I was always very autonomous in my roles. Like I had control of my roles. I was always, overseeing everyone, management, whatever.
Yeah.
And then when I went into plastic surgery, now you also work for the plastic surgeon, which he was cool, but the plastic surgeon's wife was like was crazy, and just like the whole structure of the business was absolute shit. I just couldn't deal with it. And then not long after, I won my pro card. COVID came, so that ended up wiping out all plastic surgeries. So then,
no one could operate or do anything for that sort of stuff. Yeah,
That must have been for a while as well, actually.
yeah, because that's elective stuff. It's chosen, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it's not like
private.
NHS.
It's not like, oh, you've broken your leg, you need to go to hospital. It's choice.
How
Yeah,
long did they close down for in Oz, actually?
oh, what do you mean for
Like
the?
the plastic surgeries, for example.
I'm not too sure.
Probably
I
would
pretty
have been
much
the
left
last
straight
thing to
away.
come back, I'd imagine.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
100%, yeah.
So as soon as COVID hit, then pretty much I was out, but I was already like looking to leave anyway. So it was good timing again. And then I was like, all right, well, I wanted to do my business my online business by myself. So I'll just go all in.
yeah,
I was already doing quite a lot of posing in person at the time. And like, as you said, when COVID hit, everyone just went online. Everyone became comfortable with it really fast. So end up doing a lot of online posing, scaled quite quickly. And then I was doing like comp prep coaching and lifestyle coaching as well, but like a smaller amount compared to my posing. And then moved to Dubai, and then was like, cool, now's the time to
that's all
just
I've
scale
got.
that. So scaled that, dropped back posing. Again, was getting a bit sick of posing. I still love it, but it's taxing when you're doing 40, 50 sessions a week. It's not sustainable.
It's tiring. Yeah, like a check-in might last anywhere between 5 and 20 minutes, maybe if it's like depending what you're doing with somebody. Like a posing session is 1-to-1 for half an hour.
You're relying on
45 minutes,
motor
an hour.
skills for some people, and people don't know their left from their right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Jarring.
It's exhausting and you're talking all
like-
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Switched in the whole time.
Switched in the whole time. It's tiring. Yeah, I get that.
You've got to bring enthusiasm and energy for that. You can't sit there. We can sit and talk through check-ins for hours and hours and hours on end, because information is information, feedback and direction is pretty simple.
Yeah.
And an element of the enthusiasm about the fact that somebody's progressing is brilliant, but to keep somebody mentally engaged 45, 60 minutes,
Yeah.
I know
it's
because
hard.
I've been coached to pose. I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't be fucked today. It's just
Yeah.
like, come on, let's go.
Especially when you're on
Yeah.
prep and you're like, oh, I've got a posing lesson. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. So that's interesting because you were kind of not pushed, but in each of those scenarios, kind of like pushed to make a change. Like the first one in the sleep company, you were like, oh well, no choice. Like, got to move
Yeah.
on. And then COVID hit. You were like, oh, no choice. Really got to move on. I was like, I don't know if you like worried about it or it panicked you, but I was like, I made the decision to leave. I found it so hard, so difficult.
When did you leave?
I kept the two running alongside for way longer than I should have done.
Probably over a year, right?
Probably about a year. Yeah,
Okay.
I got my coaching to a point where, from a business perspective, I was earning more money coaching than I was my full-time job. But my
Okay.
full-time job, I was out of the house like 10 to 12 hours a day, and then I was coming home, and then I was doing all my check-ins in the evening. And while I was at work, I was like replying and talking on
Yeah.
WhatsApp.
I was in bed. Man.
And I just got to a point, and I was trying to fit in the gym and everything. And I was like, something has to give.
Yeah.
So I got to that point and I was like, well, I'm earning more money doing that than my full-time role now. So that felt like a sensible.
It's good that you assessed it over a year, though, to be honest.
I reckon it was probably, yeah.
Mads is
'Cause-
very sensible, bro.
Because
Yeah.
even if it's 6 months, you know, like I've been able to maintain this income
Yeah.
for 4 out of those 6 months, then you're like, okay, cool. So then it's the
Yeah.
confirmation to be like, I can
I
step away.
think it's very rare in any circumstance that you get to practice
Yeah.
your job role, practice your
Yeah,
career.
so true,
you know?
yeah.
That no,
With no risks.
This is the thing,
Yeah.
right? So Mads is in a position where, let's say she's put in, that time being generous, 50% of your working capacity into your coaching, and it's moving, and she's gaining standing, she's gaining reputation, and she's creating results. And then she's like, well, if I've already created this and materialized this with 50% effort, then I can probably do quite well.
I think as well, a learning point from that, and this isn't to discredit anyone who's like trying to build a business, but you can build a business on the side of doing your job. Like you can build a business on the side of doing your normal job. If you want to move and you're like worried about setting something up or trying something new, or you want a new path, people talk about like the 9 to 5 and then the 5 to 9, but it does mean you have to sacrifice time, and it means you have to sacrifice energy in other areas, or maybe one night you don't go to the gym because you've got work to do or you've got calls or whatever. But if you really want to do that, you can 100% do that. Like it's not that hard. Like
I
it's
feel
not.
like you kind of should, because
You have to earn the right to do it.
Yeah.
it's doing that on the side of you working 9 to 5. That's building up your knowledge and your experience in that field already.
Mm-hmm.
Like even though I jumped, I was doing both posing and comp prep coaching for years as like
Yes.
part-time on the side before I actually went full-time into it.
Yeah.
So I think too many people kind of go, they dive into it and they think that they can, I don't know, straight away do it without any experience or actually understanding what they're actually getting into. So
It's like the
Let's fuck
argument.
on the industry at the moment. Let's go.
Yeah, 100%. it's almost like a bit like the industry of I want to be a bodybuilder, or I want to be a competitive bodybuilder because I like the reality of competing. Like all of us around the table competed as a result of liking training first, right? So if you go into coaching is completely different to any other industry in the entire world. Number one, it's fucking unregulated, so it's a clusterfucks from start to finish. You've got bandits here, there, and everywhere doing it. But if you come into coaching with the sole focus of just making money, without any sporting experience at all, any kind of developmental sporting experience, like I have been in a competitive environment, whether it be football, whether it be fucking hopscotch, whether it be anything, You know, if you don't have that level of experience and you haven't tried to actually change somebody, probably for free most of the time,
Heck
or
yeah.
absolutely terribly.
Multiple times.
Yeah, I was writing plans on pieces of paper and saying, come back and see me in a week. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
shambles. But that's the experience and baseline of knowledge you need before being able to say, all right, I'm going to be an online coach. If you like the idea of it and you go into it, much like with bodybuilding, I want to compete in bodybuilding, but I don't really like training, you ain't going to be successful because you haven't got the grindings and foundations to do so.
I think we can all say this as well, is that every single one of us has done over a decade now.
Yeah.
Over a decade of sports training. Like, you've been competing for a decade,
Yeah.
right?
We're old, and we're Steph.
You're only
me and you both
22,
old, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Exactly. 20.
But like, I don't know. Like, it's just, I think people are sold pills nowadays and magic formulas.
The dream.
Being like, oh yeah, do this and you'll earn a fucking 6-figure income tomorrow. Things like that. And it's, sometimes it's bad. I shouldn't take it personally, but sometimes I get insulted because I'm like, I've put in so much energy.
Yeah.
I remember getting up at 4 a.m. for 5 a.m. clients,
Yeah.
6 days a week for 3 years, just for someone not to fucking show up to their sessions.
Yes.
Like,
Have some
consistently.
respect.
But and then it's like, then I'm like, go do it. See, do you know what I mean, it's like, it's just a different world now. It's a different world. I don't know how you guys feel about the industry and stuff like that now, but
I mean,
and any industry, not just our industry.
Do you know what? I think anyone can have a go. Like, I think I employ anyone to have a go. Like, I think a lot of people come into the industry and they think, coaching's easy money. Someone will pay me £200 a month, $250, $300. Oh, I know this coach that charges £500 a month. Oh my God, I can quit my job if I have 5 clients. Like, it's not like that. Like, it's absolutely not like that. Like, it's not like that. And it takes so much energy and time. And it's not a bad thing, but it's the reality. Like, it takes so much energy and time. Like, I wake up and I have a lot of WhatsApps, go to bed and have a lot of WhatsApps. Like, I have communication consistently. Everyone on this table has that consistently. You don't have an off switch. You have consistent responsibility. Like, it is challenging. It's very, very intense. That's how I describe coaching. Like, it is an intense job. You don't really have time off. And I think it's just the reality of what the industry is actually like compared to what people think it is like.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
you can have a great life. Like, we all live in Dubai. We have a great life. Like, if we want to sit in the sun at the weekend, we can. If we want to go to the gym in the afternoon or the morning, we can. We're not accountable to anybody apart from your clients as long as you serve them. But I do think that it is intense, and I've always got that in the back of my mind. Like, oh, I've got this person to speak to, I've got that to do. And it's not like when I used to have my corporate job and I'd be like, oh, I'm on holiday from Monday. Brilliant.
Yeah, switch off, yeah.
That doesn't happen. Occasionally, like when we went skiing last year over Christmas, we were like, no check-ins for a week. Like, we're not working.
We still work.
But you still work. You still communicate. You just do. Naturally, if someone reaches out to you, like,
I mean, you say
reply to you.
course, but is that okay?
Do what?
You say of course, but is that okay?
What, working?
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of what we accept coming into this job, I suppose.
It's bad because it's that weird thing being like, maybe all of us hold ourselves to a standard being like, if I was in their situation, I would want a reply. And it's, I don't know, it's just a standard where, again, maybe I can't leave a message unanswered. And we should 100% have the ability to rest like anywhere else, but
Yeah.
our rest is different. If I take an afternoon off, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't,
You also
I
know-
think as
you
well,
also
like,
know
we
the
live and
work's gonna
breathe
be there,
this.
right?
Like, it's
Yeah,
like I wake up
yeah.
every day and everything revolves around my workout.
Yeah.
And everything revolves around this. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I like doing this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have
yeah.
a problem spending 5-10 minutes replying extra or whatever it is. And
Yeah. I think it's just more the reality of like what the role entails compared to like a corporate job that you put down at
Yeah.
the end of the day. Like,
but
it's
can anyone prepare you for running your own business?
probably the same in any capacity, to be honest, even if it's not coaching.
It's
you're
very,
right.
it's
Yeah.
very, it's very different. I've been self-employed, fortunately, for a long time, and in different industries as well. And you're never going to leave money on the table.
Yeah.
Any self-employed entrepreneur, you can probably say, who's willing to be like, nah, do you know what? I'm not going to take that business call. Like,
Yeah.
You're mad, because sometimes there is a reality where you do have downturns in business, and you have sky highs as well. And sometimes you don't even know how it happens, you know? But to leave money on the table is very, very brave, in my opinion, based on the fact that you don't know where your next paycheck's coming from. And if you're doing a very, very good job, and as we know, like some clients are your best clients that you probably would guarantee would never leave
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you get that message on a Saturday night. It's just like, yo, bro, like, thanks for the half an hour check-in yesterday, but just want to let you know I cancelled my direct debit and I won't be continuing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think that's always a hard thing. I think the biggest thing for me in my development as a business owner has been setting boundaries, you know, because it doesn't take long, you know, it doesn't take long for you to actually start building an element of resentment for those people who have maybe taken more than what they need to, you know, because we do have a job role. And we also need to sometimes appreciate that we maybe shouldn't step out of that job role either. You know, like there are some situations, I'm sure you guys have probably had it before. Like, I'm not a therapist. I've spent probably more money and hours in therapy than 99% of the population. I am not in a position where I'm qualified to deal with, you know, mental health issues. I'm not. I can do the best I possibly can for you as an individual. But it's times and experience where, you know, and I always talk about this, I spent over 4 hours on a call the night before my wedding to a client who not only was going to leave, but who wanted to pull prep. Now, the reason why I did that at the time with perspective is the fact that I wanted to get him on stage because I wanted the result. You know, validate my
nothing wrong with
validate my results.
Yeah.
I need to create results because that's what brings and drives business materialization. That's it. That call didn't need to happen. Do you know what? He left anyway.
Yeah.
4 hours on the eve of my wedding. That is wrong.
But then also the reason I'm sat here or I message you is because I want to spend time with you.
100%.
So like, and that's just because part of your morals, you would do that for someone else.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's the same reason, like it's because the individual you are. There is coaches that wouldn't give a fuck.
I know, it's mad, isn't
and
it?
there's loads. And and you know
Yeah.
what? They're actually allowed to in that situation.
Yeah.
So fair
they're
play.
not wrong for
They're not wrong
for
at
that,
all. And if
no.
someone wants to take a week holiday
Yeah.
in 52 weeks a year, absolutely,
Yeah.
you have the permission to do so.
Yeah.
We've never done it though,
I
right?
just, if someone can come in and tell me how to do it, it'd be great.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's just a morals thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's just,
I think it's really hard to see a human being suffer. You know, and that's the biggest
and
thing.
we put people through suffering. Like
Oh,
that's
yeah,
our jobs
but-
as well.
well,
Weird in a weird concept.
Yeah,
Like, I
it's-
need you
I
to
find
suffer.
that the hardest part.
Punishing
when it gets,
I was
someone.
literally about
when
to
it gets
say
towards
this.
the end of prep and they're struggling, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I feel like part of me wants to be like, oh, it's okay, we won't push harder. But
Yeah.
then when you see them on stage and you're like, oh, we
You
could
know
have
what?
gone harder, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there could just be an
It's a
conditioning.
very
for them
fine
all.
fine line,
100%.
and also being able to manage the emotional emotional manipulation. You know, like, oh, I'm really, really hungry. I'm really, really tired. Or my missus is going to leave me. I'm like,
Do you ever go,
Yeah.
let her, bro?
Will Nando sorted?
Fuck off.
Will Nando sorted? And I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, man.
Yeah.
We need that first place. Keep digging.
You
really
paid me to do a
difficult.
job.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find that the hardest. I don't know whether that's a feminine thing, but I find that really, really hard.
I used to be really good at
Really
it.
hard.
Now I feel like ever since I've dated him, because he's
Gone soft.
made me softer because I was a hard ass bitch.
Breaking
but
you down. Yeah. Breaking you down.
I used to be so militant, and I still am, but like he's
You take on emotion a lot more.
yeah, I take on a lot more. So
Hmm.
like me as, you know, when I was first comp prep coach, it
12
was very
weeks, no
like
carbs, 2 hours
militant,
cardio.
friggin'
Fuck
nah,
it, full
like.
send.
Do you know what I find with that as well is the more personal relationship I have with a client, the harder I find it to coach them into a show sometimes. Not all the time, but if I have a client that maybe joins me and do an off season and I haven't met them in person and they just check in, they do the job, there isn't a lot of emotional communication. They're like on job, and you don't build a really deep personal relationship because they just do the job, go away, come back, do the job, and they're great. That's an amazing position for me. Not that I don't want to have a personal relationship, but I find it much easier to be like, okay, we need to take a bit more off, less food, off you go. And often I'll get the best results with them because I'm not worried about how they feel, because they don't talk to me about like, oh, but I'm like, oh, I really feel like I need something sweet. Like, they don't talk to me like that. They don't talk to me like on a deeper emotional level. They're like, yep, job, like doing the job. It's not deep. I find them easier to coach than somebody who I have a personal relationship with, maybe a friendship that's formed over like a few years, or I know like a lot about their personal life because I know about their partner or their boyfriend or their mum's poorly, or I know about them and they're in prep, for example, and they're talking to me about maybe their struggles or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I don't want you to have a bad time, and like I find that I struggle more with that relationship, whereas if it's more pulled back, I'm like, yep, go and do your cardio and take those carbohydrates away and you'll be good. You know?
I agree.
In a prep, do you have that? Have you had that relationship with a coach though? Anyone new?
No.
So you're the same. Here's your feedback. Go
Fuck
see
off.
you next week
Yeah.
type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had less emotional support than I could ever even imagine giving a client. Like to the point where suck it up. I couldn't give a fuck. Chew this thing in nettles, crack on.
Yeah.
But do you know what? Do you know what's funny? I actually respond really well to it. I love
Yeah.
it. Don't talk to me. I'm actually probably better off not having my ass wiped because I work better in that circumstance. Put my back against the wall, make it hard. I'll resent it, but I'll fucking do it.
Yeah, I think it depends on your personality. Like,
Have you spoke to coaches about your personal stuff?
yeah, I mean, I was with Cal for, how long was I with Cal? 3 years, maybe. And I have a really close relationship with him, close relationship with Hannah, his wife. Like, so, but I'm also very good at, give me the instruction, I'll just go away for a week and do it. Like, it's militant, like, give me an instruction, I'll do it. So don't really need emotional support. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, cardio was really hard this morning. Wouldn't really have chit chat. So I would just spend maybe 2 out of those 3 years just like, thanks for the feedback, off I go, check in a week later.
Yeah.
But I'm somebody who doesn't really need that at all. But then if I was to reach out for that, it's probably because it's important and it's like a one-off, or it's like actually something we need to talk about. And I have that difference with clients as well. So I know some people, if they reach out for something personal, I'm like, well, it must be serious because they just crack on.
Yeah.
And I'm more like that person. So like Cal supported me. He was amazing at times in our coaching relationship emotionally. But I didn't really need that until like maybe one day where I just needed it like a bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But I felt like that I could be like that because I had a personal relationship with him. Whereas if it was more like just a distant coaching relationship, I probably wouldn't feel like I could reach out with that. But I think some people really need a lot of emotional support.
Yeah.
And like Corey touched on the therapy thing, like we're not therapists, but you'll have it with some clients that they use you as emotional support because you build a relationship with them. You talk to them every single day.
Also
they feel
neutral.
like, yeah, you're neutral. You are a support network. Like you're somebody who they communicate with that's outside of their close bubble. Maybe if they've got problems with their relationship, they might speak to you because you're the only other person and you're away from their daily context.
Yeah.
You got to work with the individual. So people are just so different with how they are.
Yeah.
I think touching back on that therapy question, something that has helped me is my ability to manage expectations through my development in therapy so I can have more effective communication with clients.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, not over-promising and underachieving, but being able to communicate. And I've got a wide plethora of clients who have different needs and demands, as we all do. And some of them need, well, they just need the communication they need, right? And sometimes actually being able to effectively communicate with that person, understand what they're actually asking for, but also be honest as well. I've had clients, a lot of my clients have been with me for a long time, and naturally you go through a lot of like life experience, not only personally but with them as well. You know, things that change. They might get a house with their partner, and they might be getting a divorce, or there might be all sorts of shit that happens, right? And being able to say, this is where I am in this relationship, because it does become a relationship.
Of course.
Like there is an element of over familiarity based on the frequency of communication. You know, if you're prepping somebody and sometimes you're speaking to them every single day because they need that level of support.
Yeah.
Sometimes like, I've got probably one of the best athletes I've ever worked with. He just does not speak to me. It's hard work to get him to check in. And when he does, I'm like, fuck you know, okay then, like carry on. You know, and then some athletes I'm like, well, you actually need a little bit more clarity based on what's happening. So if I've got this one client who I'm just like, yeah, crack the fuck on, you're good as gold, love you to bits, all good. I've got this client who's like, no, I need to know the intricacies and the details of what you're planning for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 weeks.
And
what you see happening. And then if that changes, that needs to be updated, you know, because if I commit to that 20 week forecast on a 5-week basis, and I don't miss it, and by week 5 I'm like changing my mind and I haven't explained that, then there's turbulence, because that person doesn't like change. They've already understand what's happening, you know.
It comes down to what you said, I think, earlier about being able to just, it's your life and you don't really take time off. I think because we deal with people, we're not like car salesmen or like even selling houses. We're selling like a service for people, like how they feel.
Yeah.
So you do have to really take into account the type of person that you're working with. And I think that is challenging. We have to have so many people skills in this job that you don't actually, you're not taught unless you yourself go through some development, or keep using the word therapy. It doesn't have to be therapy, like teaching, like learning courses, maybe a previous experience in job that you might have had training for, or you've managed a team or anything. The personal skills you have to have for different people is crazy.
It's mad.
Yeah, if you think about how many clients you have over the years or you have at one time, imagine you have a team of, back in your corporate role, if you have a team of 50 people underneath you or 100 people underneath you,
Yeah.
like how do you manage and speak to all those people to get the best out of each one of them in their role? It's like exactly the same thing in coaching. And I do find that hard because you have to be able to adapt to people so much. And some people need a lot. Some people don't really need much. Some people don't want much either. They're like, no, I don't need to speak to you about my personal life. I'll do the job and crack on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And you get that message very quickly, don't you?
Yeah.
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 Like, why
You
are
know
you
where the
asking so
line-
many questions? Fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, fair
That's
enough.
always that initial phase. It's like you're trying to figure out the client and get those,
Yes.
Yes.
those things out, right?
Yeah.
Because some people are like myself, I'm like, cool, tell me what to do. I'll fuck off, come back the next week and be like,
There it
job
is.
done, what's
Yeah.
next? Here's the results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas some people like they need more support, like everyday
Yes.
conversations, etc., which is both are fine, but it's like as a coach, we need to figure you out.
Yeah,
in the
you
initial
over
phases,
managing,
right?
you under managing, or you just
Yeah.
hitting the spot.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Unless the client's communicating, you don't know.
Yes,
'Cause
correct.
You're either assuming like, okay, you're sweet, you don't want me to message you, you want to crack on, you come back to me like me.
Yeah.
Or unless someone's telling you they need more support, then we give it back to them.
Yes.
But
Yes.
unless the client is communicating that, we don't know.
It's very,
Yeah.
very difficult.
I think it depends on the athlete as well. Like, you're someone who's very good at executing. Like, a coach could just give you a plan and you can just run with it. You don't really need the
I'll eat
support.
nothing and do a lot.
I'm very good at executing. You're very good at executing, but you've done this a long time. Your expectations are managed. Like, you know that if your coach puts your food up, you just got to eat it and crack on because that's just the job, right? So you probably don't need to message him like, I'm so full today, I'm struggling with a meal too. Like, he doesn't care and you don't care. You just need to do the job. Whereas someone who's a lot earlier in this journey and managing their expectations of what they need to do to be able to progress, whether it's in a prep or an off season or maybe health or whatever that is, their expectations have to be managed a lot more, a lot more communication. They don't maybe realize how much impact what they do day to day has on the outcome. And that's challenging.
Do you know
How
what?
long things take as well,
Yeah.
like building muscle, if it's their first muscle building phase.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we don't need to be food changes all the time. You know,
Yeah.
less is more at this point.
Yeah.
We don't need to give you more food unless you need it. Otherwise, you're going to get fat and get further away from the goal.
Yeah.
I've had a number of occasions where I've set unrealistic expectations based on very, very, very good athletes. You know, like I've got athletes who can eat 6,000 calories a day and literally reverse into a show eating 800 grams of carbs peeled.
Yeah.
6 weeks out. Like you can't shout about that too loudly because I've got a client over here who I am burying, and he's checking in. I'm like,
But do you ever feel like then it's the people think they should be able to mimic what someone else is doing instead of being like, actually, whatever is required, you need to do.
Correct.
It's the same as like, I've only done it a couple of times. Do I want to put someone sub 1,000?
yeah,
I'm like, no, but that's what we have to fucking do. Like, this is the outcome.
sorry.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of it. But then I think people's expectations, whatever it is, they think they're here without earning here.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
like, everything you guys have just said all came from experience.
Yep.
Yes.
Because you're saying like, if any one of us got a training program, bang. If anyone says, hey, start prep tomorrow because you need to be in shape for this, boom.
Cool.
Yeah.
And do you need help managing your emotions? No. Probably an issue sometimes.
Yeah.
But then also we've got to the
Are you
but we've
okay?
got that's it. Like going hyper on a fucking stairmaster.
Yeah.
And like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
But the reality is the experience allowed you now to what emotions to listen to and what not.
Yes.
I think people listen to emotions too much.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm like, well, that's good. Like, we should all be hungry.
Yeah.
I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, great. Like, I want Ben and Jerry's, but I don't fucking need it.
Do you know
Like,
what?
I'm not surprised you're hungry. I can see striations in your chest. Like, you're probably starving.
School of hard knocks, right? And so sometimes I have to be like, you're 80 kilos, you know, I'm 107, 108 at the moment. For me to get peeled, I need to eat no carbs.
Yeah.
And I need to eat no carbs for a long time. And I've been doing this for over 12 years.
Yeah.
I've been a competitive bodybuilder for over a decade.
Yeah.
And you've been here for 5 minutes. And you're telling me that someone on Instagram is eating more food than you. I couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Not one fuck.
And do you think that's like, we came up with, I think this is the benefit of our being our age as well. Because me and Steph talk about this all the time. Like, we grew up with like dial-up internet.
Yeah.
Like, and you remember when someone jumped on the phone, it cut out the fucking dial-up, and you're like, fuck. Like, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But now people jump on there, like, they just assume that that's how it's done.
Yeah.
Without being like, oh no, there's thousands of hours, there's thousands of this required. I don't know if it's just...
Yeah, I think it can
think
be
we-
a generational thing. I think there's a big shift in... I trained in Derek's gym, which was a converted fire station, which had no central heating, which in the winter, you had to wear gardening gloves. Otherwise, your hands would stick to the steel dumbbells and it would pull your skin off. That's my
That's what training in the
experience.
cold hands
You
like.
know, yeah. And you had to go into the gym with factor 50 on just in case you burnt from the radiation of the, you know, like that's what my first experience to training was. There was no optimization. It was just, and it's a bit egotistical. And I think that's bullshit as well, to be honest with you. But because it sounds very cool, it sounds very hardcore, but that is true, you know? So like, if I didn't go to the gym on a Tuesday evening, it opened for 4 hours an evening, 5 till 10, 5 till 9. Yeah. That was it. So all the bodybuilders and meatheads were there with their gardening gloves at 5 o'clock in the evening in December.
Yeah.
And it was snowing.
Yeah.
You know, and we're all walking into a converted fire station with no central heating, like single pane glass windows.
This is Wales though. Like England was a little bit better. Like the gym that I went to like had heating.
Yeah.
I didn't need
had a front
gardening
door,
gloves.
yeah.
And I'm older than Corey.
But it's true though, isn't it? Because we've all trained at those gyms.
He did
and
live
like,
in a field.
There's something missing now. Because I put it down. I remember 3 years of training being like, oh, this is how you do it. Execution like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you really get to the point being like, I did fuck all in 3 years.
Yeah.
Because I forgot the bread and butter. Or I had no one teach you, just be like you. The later on in this, sometimes you get the more knowledge, it paralyzes you a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, I know I need to do this row.
Overanalyze
So, but
things,
like,
yeah.
there's 6 machines that can do this row. So which one's better? But then you get to the point being like, whichever one fucking feels good.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Like, it literally doesn't matter. And like, what did we watch the other day? We watched some clips of someone. Oh, we watched Samsung training someone. And you're like, if you want to go look at Optimal, don't look at that.
Yeah.
But he's the biggest fucking human being on the planet.
Yeah.
And it's funny how that correlates. I know that we're talking about the 1%, but they just have work ethic. And it's the same thing. It's like anything we talk about, it's just experience, work ethics, suffering. No one wants to, I don't know, just no one wants to work hard and
like
suffer.
What frustrates me these days is like, well, obviously Instagram's a big one, but you see so much of this, try this, optimize your glute on this angle, you twist like this and you grab the cable and put the foot here and then twist like this. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's not going to grow your glutes.
Especially for females as well, because females more emotionally buy things.
Yeah.
So they'll emotionally be more bought into something.
Yeah,
It's
they
like
do,
Victoria's Secret models. You need to be a size 0 and the world will accept you.
Yeah.
Now it's going to like, you need to do your glutes like this. You need to have glutes like this. Otherwise, and
Otherwise, you're not going to look.
women
like
have
you're real.
I think women do have it harder on
And then
that
you
scale.
have absolute 10 out of 10 rockets who just have glutes when they come out of the womb and they're like,
Yeah.
this is how you do it. Like, you're never going to look like
Like
her,
a girl who's never
unfortunately.
trained before, and she walks in the gym. She's like, "Come train upper with me." Like, that's not real. And you're like,
But-
you've never done a squat in your life. Like, why do you look like that?
Yeah.
But mine and Mads' experience, certainly when Mads got into like competitive bodybuilding, she trained push-pull legs with me.
Yeah.
Upper, lower, build the foundation of muscle.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing. It's almost a bit like the better athletes are probably going to be the ones that have been brought up in some form of sport in the first place.
Yeah.
Do you have like sporting maturity? Do you have like sporting bones? Do you have muscularity built from running, jumping, lateral movement planes? You know what I mean? Like all of that actually builds a foundation of muscle. Mads played football at a very, very high level for a very, very long time. So naturally she moves into bodybuilding, which is complete physique development and just hypertrophy work. And it's just like, well, she trained like a meathead with me and was like barbell rowing or trying to absurd amounts of weight. She was picking up like 50 kg dumbbells, rowing them terribly, may I add. But when she got peeled, by fuck did she have a good back.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's the same. You say that now. Like when you started training, you were just doing biceps and shoulders.
100%.
But then you're like, guess what? You don't have to do
Shoulders
fucking
and
shoulders
abs.
anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
I
because
used, to, I used to do like a lat pull down every time I went to the gym.
you know when I was stalking
On the
Mads for
cable like this.
when I was stalking Mads for like 4 months before I even had the bollocks to go up and talk to her in the gym. Every single time I saw her, she was on a lat pull then. The same one. I was just like, yeah,
like
8 o'clock on a Wednesday night. Here we go. Yeah.
But like you said,
Yeah.
then that's why the foundation's built. So when you get more of a mature athlete, you can taper off that stuff, especially when it's like
Exactly.
more so like female-based categories, right? Because then you're like, well, you need to emphasize this and this and this.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do back every day now. You just have to do it once because it's phenomenal now.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you've slapped on that layer. Same with guys, like do push-pull legs for the first 4 years.
Yeah.
And then be like, okay, now we want to do chest, biceps, legs, whatever.
Yeah.
Then you can isolate from that point.
There's a huge underestimate of how much muscle you need to just look good in any capacity.
fucking mad.
I hate saying to look good because it makes it sound like people need to look a certain way. But in order to, I seen a post earlier about Fit Model. Someone was like putting their stories about like, oh, for girls with no muscle or something like that. I was like, it's actually so untrue. Like even these Fit Model girls have trained probably with no assistance, which is what I think probably the category fits the best. Zero assistance, but they will have trained really hard for their body type and shape that fits the category. They do have a good amount of muscle. They still have glutes. They still get relatively lean-ish for what the category wants. They will have still trained really, really hard to build the muscle that they have. Just because it's Fit Model doesn't mean that in order to build the delts and the glutes that they have, they train them less hard than the figure girl who's competing at the Olympia. They've had longer training age, maybe over time got stronger, moved heavier weight, probably taken assistance. But in order to grow the muscle that they've got, they still have had to execute it the same as this other person in order to grow. So girls need to know that you have to train hard to just even look how you want to look, whether you want to be a bikini girl, any kind of competitor, even if you just want to look great on the beach.
But also, like you say,
have
it's
to
the
train.
realistic expectation, because if you say 10 years ago, I'm like, 10 years ago, the winner of the Olympia was a fit model
Yeah.
in bikini.
Yes.
So you're like, all it is now what humans can do now because of science and because of technology and because of drugs and the industries, wherever it is, or AI, is here in a 30-year span.
And
You have
also
to-
remember the competitors that are doing bikini now, say at the Olympia.
You look at them, you're like,
Yeah, but some of them were doing bikini 10 years ago and looked like fit models, and now
Yeah.
they're still doing bikini 10
Exactly.
years later. So that's 10 years of muscle. That's how
only-
the categories evolve.
Exactly. The only girls that are jumping into bikini and doing quite well straight away are the girls that have the genetics to
Yes.
build a lot of muscle easy anyway.
Yes.
For example, myself, if I came to the industry now, I'll be going straight into fit model. Like,
Yeah.
it's taken me 10 years to get to the muscle I have now.
Yes.
There's no way I'll be
Yeah.
jumping straight in.
Yeah.
And I agree with you in terms of fit model is a division that they don't work any less harder than the other
No.
girls. They are just more genetically suited to that, division because they don't grow muscle as genetically easy as other
Yeah.
girls and unassisted, of course. But
Yeah.
they still work just as hard for sure.
Yeah, and they've just not maybe been training as long. They're often younger as well. A lot of the girls that I see doing fit model who've been winning are young. They're like early 20s, like or late teens.
what was that post that went up today? Like the youngest IFBB pro, she was 18. She's a fit model girl.
Amazing.
Fit model
Saw
girl.
that, saw that pop up, yeah.
I think it's a good thing, to be honest, because
Yeah.
I've been competing for 10, 11 years now, and so obviously I've naturally seen where bikini started, and where
Yeah.
bikini started
it's-
is fit model now.
Yeah.
And the girls that are winning overseas, even regional shows, they're pretty jacked.
Yeah, it's a more realistic expectation of like what that entry point of competing is. And also I think it's really important to note is that a lot, unless they are the genetic elite like you've spoken about, a lot of bikini girls who are, say the Olympia, the girls that people idolize, a lot of them are assisted or have been, and they've been doing it a long, long, long time. So if you're aspiring to be that, that's quite far down the line for you. Like you said, it's 10 years away. It's maybe assistance. You don't know if you even want to do that because that's so far away from you. Like you don't know if you want to do that. So entry point here where you can be competitive and have a bit more of enjoyable experience. Do you like it? Do you like prep? Do you like posing? Do you like standing in bikini on stage and posing? Do you like that? So it's a nice entry point that's enjoyable.
100%.
It doesn't feel as pressurized or as like, well, I'm never going to look like her, so I have to take assistance or I have to do that. Like you can just enjoy it for what it is. And then if you really want to achieve that, you can just keep going,
I think
which I
the
think is
art-
much
That makes
nicer.
sense, yeah.
The art of enjoyment is lost with
Everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God.
Fucking
I feel like
you
this-
can't go into your
With
first
social
bodybuilding
media.
competition with enjoying it. I don't think anybody does. The expectation from every single competitor, and please tell me guys if I'm wrong, is to turn up and win.
But that blows my mind because when
Mine
like,
too.
it blows my mind. I'm like,
Yeah.
you've never done this before. Like that's like, and it's the same when people throw around a pro card still. It's
Yeah.
like, I understand a pro card is quote unquote easier, if you want to call it easier, but it's not because 50 other million people now doing it.
Yeah.
So it's exactly the same ratio as it was.
I wonder what
How
the
big were
anti-
your classes and your pro qualifiers?
Man, I did the Dubai Pro.
Yeah,
My
so
first in.
50
There was
guys.
130 classic guys in
There you
that.
go. Yeah.
Unless you're from the US, and I think that's a different ball game.
It's like a different sport over there.
Yeah,
But then
completely
also it's
different.
like, yeah, we can just eliminate the US because they don't
Yeah.
really count. So anyone from the US, you can do
Fuck
it. That's
yourself,
fine.
yeah.
Turn off.
But it's been very,
Subscribe them.
but it's been really interesting seeing. I'll dive it back into women's a little bit. Like this is the first year Fit Model's been around, right? Yeah, it's the first
Yeah.
year. It feels
It's
longer
also
now.
the first year of the natural shows, which I think
Yes.
has also been a very interesting point to really see where people's genetic capacities are, right?
Yeah.
Like the bikini division, because in Australia we just had our first natural season, and I even underestimated what the level of their bikini was going to be, and because I thought, oh yeah, natural shows it's going to be like less muscle, kind of similar to Fit Model.
Might
for
look a
their
bit Fit
bikini.
Model-y, yeah.
And by seeing the natural season, it really puts on a pedestal and a really clear I can't say the word perspective of how vastly different people are genetically. Like we had
Yes.
one girl that was fucking jacked and hard to the point that like she was too hard and too jacked for the actual bikini division entirely, even
Yeah.
if it was natural.
She
or
almost
not.
stood out wrongly.
Yeah, and then there was
Like,
other,
being
there
too
was
good.
Yeah.
and then there was
Had
other
to do
girls
4
that
urine
had-
tests to check.
yeah, pretty much. And then you had other girls that had beautiful bikini structures, but like nowhere near as hard or dense or
No.
had the separation like they need to. So yeah,
How have you found it coaching? I know Steph's had a few, oh, this is awkward. Which category are we going to go in kind of thing. How have you had that this year for you?
No, not
Or have you-
really.
Have you been
Everyone-
mostly just bikini? Or
everyone's pretty set in. I think there's been a bit of resistance, and I think it's an ego thing with Fit Model. So I've had a few people come to me or like consult calls or even existing clients. So I've been like, do you know what? I think you should maybe do Fit Model. I think it'd be a really good place for you to have an entry as competing. And I think, to be honest, knowing how much body fat there is always to take off and looking at you, I think that actually this would suit you.
Wellness or bikini.
Um,
See when you get lean.
Yeah. And
Bubble
I
butt.
think that as an entry point, that would actually be better. And people are like, no, I don't want to do that. Well, actually, if you want to win, and it's not always about winning, but if you want to win, you've got much more opportunity. The classes are much smaller. It's very new. You'd be one of the first group of people doing it in the country, in say the UK, for example, and you would fit it really well. So why don't you want to do that? And I think it's an ego thing because it's been like labeled as this like, oh, it's a soft category. They're not lean. They've got no muscle. Like they're like failed bikini girls. Like, no, that's not what it is. I think the category, when it first came out, I was a bit confused. And now I think it's actually fantastic for the sport.
cementing very
I
well
think
now.
it's so good. And I encourage anyone who wants to try being a competitor who is a female, that's been training 2-3 years and they see themselves as wanting to do that. 100% give that a go. It's a great entry point.
and it's not even winning. It's not about winning the show as a Fit Model. It's about being recognized for where your physique fits.
Yes.
Yes.
Like why, if you have a Fit Model structure
Structure.
and level of muscle, why are you letting your ego take over to go into bikini when you're going to
Yeah.
be completely out of like
Schooled.
Yeah.
like you're not
It's
going to be on the same
Even
level,
counted.
obviously.
No.
Yeah.
But it's so exactly that. It's like earning your stripes. Why women not want to earn their stripes to build back up? Because when you look at like your first stage groups, I'm like, you're a Fit Model, like
Absolutely.
the modern day Fit Model, right? But it was in that, and it's the same. Like I don't know, I started off doing fucking fitness modeling. Was my first one. It was like a Miami
Enquiry.
Pro or whatever it was, and then you go, okay, I'm not big, and then I'll do men's physique.
Yeah.
And then eventually you move up and move up and move up. So
Yeah.
you're like, oh, my legs will look all right, so I'll show my legs again.
Yep.
But I don't know but then again, men do it now. The men go, I'm classic.
Yeah, I'm not doing
And you're
this
like, you're
physique.
fucking not. Have you seen the size of these guys?
Yeah, and you're like, you don't fit your men's physique cap.
Yes,
You're not
yeah.
classic.
Yeah. I'm
You're a
like,
pro, yeah.
Even the reality of a structural thing, like I should have when I was competing as a junior bodybuilder, I wanted to be an open class bodybuilder. I wanted to be an open class bodybuilder because I wanted to fill my ego. Like I wanted to be the biggest and best, youngest. Because we said, didn't we? Like I had an amazing junior bodybuilding career.
Yeah.
That should have then moved into a classic career because I was already around the cap. I was early in the development of the class as a whole.
Yeah.
But instead, I said, no, I want to be 130 kilos at 21.
Yeah, and then this can
22.
go on to like, oh, would my health been detrimented
Yes,
from there because I would have slowly built up instead
Natural
of packing
progression.
on that weight.
Yeah.
And
Nobody seems to understand the reality of these natural progressions anyway. That's probably why the categories are there in the first place. Men's physique,
Yeah.
I know men's physique guys now
It's
are very, very
different,
big.
but still, yeah.
But then, even as classic started to come into play, you've got the natural progression of like men's physique, classic to open. Depending on how tall you are, you can go 212 or you can go open class.
Yeah.
Like, there's a natural progression over 10, 15 years worth of a career there.
yeah,
If you do it right.
Yeah,
You
enjoy the progression.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or you get to men's physique and you're like, oh, do you know what? I'm going to step into classic now. And do you know what? This is my class.
Yeah.
Or you step into classic and you're like, do you know what? The way that I grow and the reality that getting into the cap, it fucking sucks. And the fact that I'm 4 foot tall, I'm going to be an amazing 212 athlete.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I've got the structure of a men's physique or classic guy, the amazing, beautiful lines, tiny little waist, but I can be 96, 97 kilos brimming.
Yeah. With females, you guys will know this better than I. Is there like with guys? It's kind of obvious. Be as big as you can and have a tight waist. That's literally it. Moral of the story.
Yeah.
With females, whether that's fit model and bikini or
Whatever wellness.
whatever
figure.
it is, do you find there's a certain height that's more suited to a class? Like if they're 5'6" to 5'8", that might be more. Or is it because I see bikini girls, I'm like, someone's like 5 foot and she looks phenomenal, but then you get, for example, Phoebe stands next to them who's 5'10",
Yeah, and she looks
you're
phenomenal.
like, and she looks phenomenal, and you're like, but then it's that weird thing being like, I look at her because she's bigger on stage.
Yeah, she
Like,
takes up
is it-
space.
Is
Yeah.
there like,
When I feel like when the taller girls put on enough size to fill out their frame, they really freaking stand out.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Can that be a good thing?
As a whole, I think it's
Guess
a
the
good
same as
thing
guys,
being
right?
taller, but it takes a long time to fill it out and grow that shape to the shape that they want to see for bikini. As a whole, I do think that like around my height, that which is around 5'4", I think I am.
You 5'4"?
It's quite easy to achieve that bikini shape, and it's quite, I guess, busy in terms of like a lot of the bikini.
Well, you can see
girls
it when
at
you
that
get
height.
the classes. You're like that mid height packed.
Yeah.
Tall, short is kind of but that mid
Yeah,
height.
like I was always in class A or B, like in bikini, and there's what goes up to H, like
I love a class B.
Yeah.
like
I think
class
class. I think class
You're
B.
talking
is
about like sexual preference. I love a class B girl.
100%. Yeah, I love a class B girl.
A. Brilliant.
Yeah, no, I think from preference, like
Like small petite.
the look of a class B.
We just go
class,
into what
class
you-
B, class C, class C is probably. I can't. No, they're actual very small increments, and
They're like
B
an
to
inch,
C.
aren't they?
Yeah, B,
But like
B
petite.
is a very, very nice classic bikini look. I think
Yeah.
C is probably top of it. I'm not a massive fan of taller, elongated physiques, and I also don't like very, very small, compact bikini girls. I think B and C is like
Yeah, I
a
kinda
really
agree
nice
with
place
you.
to be.
Most girls are gonna, if they're tall, they're freaking tall.
Yes.
And if they put on
Yeah.
enough muscle to feel like that bikini silhouette they need, then they're gonna be huge and jacked on stage compared to the other girls.
This is the issue I have with a client. April, she looks fantastic. Like she looks absolutely brilliant. She's massive. She's huge. I don't know how tall she
Talking
is.
about height.
Height.
Yeah.
She's
Both.
massive. She's also stacked. Like she's like peeled 60 kilo. And she must be 5'10",
Yeah,
taller.
yeah, she's about my yeah.
She's-
6 foot.
She's
I
tall.
was like, you're not 5'10".
And like in the UK, when she goes to a regional, she's mostly usually in the bin because she just stands out for being this giant. And like everyone is really, no offense, average, like middle of the pack average height, middle of the pack muscle wise, middle of the pack condition wise, and she just stands out for like, it's like the wrong reasons. Like she looks unreal, but she's just, you can't judge her in the lineup because she's so different. You can't judge her. She goes to an international show and you've got, I don't know, 150 bikini girls there. She goes to Prague and there's 20 in class H and they're all huge. And she comes second because they're all massive and you can compare.
Yeah.
So like she stands out in some lineups incredibly for the right reasons, but if she's not in the right class, that like tall, big frame, lots of muscle, delt, big glutes, like she doesn't look right and they don't like it.
But this is when it comes, especially for you three as well, when you're working with an athlete is depending on what they want to achieve, right? With if they want to go further, if they want to start taking it seriously, you have to be selective where they go on stage. Like if you're like, oh no, go to like Steph's had this when they're like, go to Asia. I'm like, you're a fucking white girl stood in Asia.
Yeah, they don't.
You're the only
like
fucking chick stood there.
Yeah,
like
Blonde.
you're literally standing out. It's a bit like I thought that like Dubai. I'm like there was 3 white guys.
Yes. Yeah.
Like that's it. So it's like being selective of where you.
I had it in
Alicante.
I had it in Alicante.
I didn't know.
Yeah, same. Yeah, and do you know what? I dyed my hair blonde for it as well. Ridiculous idea. Turned up looking like Eminem, right? Literally straight out of straight out
8 Mile.
Yeah, straight out of 8 Mile. Like extremely flat and small and skinny and ratty with blonde hair. I'm like, terrible idea. I went from in FIBO. I went from winning the class and rivaling the overall to literally bottom of the pack. I literally stood in the middle because I was walking past it.
Yeah.
They were like, you know, you're over there in the car park, mate. You're like, goodbye.
When
everyone
I
was
competed
Spanish, dark.
Yeah. When I competed in Alicante, I was the only blonde girl in the whole category.
But it's funny, we all do it because it's a great show.
Yeah.
It's always a good show.
Yeah.
We just want the ring. How do you guys, we were talking about prep, weren't we? What's the situation for your next strategy on prep? Like when you're next competing, are you going to do it? Or
I'll let her answer that.
Go on, we'll speak.
I know what I'm doing.
We'll speak to the boss.
No,
well, we're not prepping at the same time this time.
Yeah.
Not because of the prep itself.
We probably will, but like crossing over.
like stagger it.
Yeah.
So we prepped together really well, but the whole like show day, competing at the exact same time, like did not work. Just from a perspective of not being able to be there completely for him, vice versa.
Yeah, it technically wasn't our fault either. Like when we looked at the shows, it was amateurs on a Saturday, pros on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And that was for all of them. And then literally the week leading into it, they moved it all onto a Sunday. So like I would be on in the morning, Steph would be on at 6, 7 p.m. at night. So it was a really awkward thing to be like, okay, so like I'll get up, go, then we'll come back, do your hair. Like it was just...
Oh, Steph's getting a tan and you're on stage and like...
Yeah, exactly. And then vice versa. Like if she's watching in the morning, she's like, oh, okay, now I've got to take my meal. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just...
You do the whole thing together and then you can't finish it off because you can't
Yeah, pretty much. So that's why the last show was a little bit nicer because we were able to do that. But yeah, go on.
So in terms of when I'm getting on stage next, I'm not completely sure. Maybe either middle of next year or the following year. I just don't want to get on stage until I've built enough muscle to be competitive, whether that's soon or later. He will be getting on stage next year, so he'll be getting on stage like end of next year. So I'll either be done before he gets on stage, or I won't be competing at all.
Or you'll still be
in off season.
still eating 3,000 calories and
Yeah, and I'll just be looking at her. That looks good. No, it's I think it was a really good thing to do. Like definitely prepping together it was smooth. It was so good.
many people struggle.
But then again, I think I put this down to we went through our... Not enough couples go through the shit. Like if I had to date all over again, I'd be like, okay, we need to make shit go really wrong for the first year to see if you stick around.
Yes.
So I'm like, I don't want...
Tell me about your family first question. Okay, brilliant. It's a no.
Yeah.
Like
I want you to get in trouble. I want you to do this so that we have to bail out of it and sort all of these issues out, right?
Yeah.
We did that. We went through this. We broke up twice. We did all these issues and things like that. We worked... And then you're like, okay, cool. Well, I've seen you at your worst now. You've seen me at your worst. Like,
You're kind of accepting of each other, but also like...
We just know.
You understand each other at that point as well.
Yeah. And then realistically eating some little bit less food and doing some cardio. Was it really the end of the world? No.
No.
It was probably better than it was now. At least we were like, right, everything needs to be done at 7:30.
Probably because you weren't speaking to each other anymore because you were in prep, so it was easy.
But even then, we were that like, even then it was just like our routines were better. So like Steph's like naturally can work late.
Yeah.
And like as soon as it's 7 p.m, I'm like done.
Yeah, see, I'm the same. I can work into the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's like when she was in prep, she wouldn't. She was like, no, everything's getting done at this time. So we both sit down and things and like,
yes.
Yeah.
and we'd enjoy like a creamy or something like that for the last meal. So we probably spent more time, actual quality time together doing stuff then.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then now it's just like, oh, like work, whatever it is. So it was kind of like the opposite to an extent.
Well, when you're in prep, you do have to, and for anyone who's not prepped, you just absolutely prioritize yourself 100%.
Yeah.
Like even in a relationship, you can look after somebody and care about them and want to sit and eat a creamy, but your sole focus is everything you need to do that day. Your cardio, your food, getting your work done, being able to get to bed at a good time. If you're a girl and you need to wash your hair, you'll factor that in. You'll literally give yourself like, this is my day and this is what I need to do. And you're just so selfish. But you have to do that in order to be able to complete it. So it doesn't surprise me that you were able to like have better quality time because you were like, I need this done by this time and then I'm finished. Whereas when you're not in prep,
we're all a bit slack, aren't we?
yeah,
like, there's
you
always
are a
things
bit slack. Like people are like, oh yeah, I'd still get my sleep really
It's just
good in
like you got a
off-season
24-hour period, you got 10 things you need to do, just get them done.
Yeah. And like, does it
Doesn't
matter
matter
if your
as much.
meal's an hour
No.
later?
Fucking
No.
irrelevant, no.
Exactly. So you do run out of time because you're not as like hyper focused and stressed about it because it's not that deep. Like it's
Yeah.
not that deep. And anyone who says you're off season needs to be
Needs to be like
exactly the
prep.
same as your prep. Needs to relax a little bit, like a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to eat your food. You need to do what you need to do, but you don't need to be that militant. You can have a nice time. You can replace a meal with steak and chips, and you can go out. Like it's okay.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
doesn't matter.
And you can let things slip a little bit. You can go on holiday, not train for a week, and have a nice time, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like it actually really doesn't make that much difference. But
Yeah.
yeah prep is like
It's, I mean,
You kind of need to have that you actually do need to have a bit of
Yeah.
flexibility in off season because otherwise you'll be burnt out as fuck when you get to
Facts.
prep
Fact.
itself, not even get through stage, and then probably end up resenting the sport and then just completely flopping.
where does that all come from? Us experience. We've all done it.
yeah.
I've got this thing now, and I've call it a revelation. But I've come to understand that all of those previous lessons give you perspective, right? So once you've got that perspective, is what you do with it, which is the revelation or the lesson to put forward. So you were just saying about how you've gone through all the shit, right? You've gone through all the shit already. So that gives you the perspective on what went wrong, and then the lesson moving forward is a revelation of, right, how in which are we going to make this better moving forward, right? So now the pressure on you both is absolutely nothing because you're like, well, I know exactly who you are, you know exactly who I am. Now we're just going to come together and absolutely just merge the two together, right? Which is absolutely fantastic. I think we have had so many situations like that. And now the perspective or the revelation or the lesson is, do you know what? Life's actually really, really short, especially with the fact of like health issues, the reality that we almost lost our relationship, like all of that coming to a head. Now we're just in a position where it's just like, I remember I was speaking to somebody the other day. I remember when you asked me the question if I would give up bodybuilding or you, I said you before you'd even finished the sentence.
Yeah, you did.
Because I had this thing where bodybuilding was always there. That how emotionally unstable is that?
No, but I kind of.
It's like my safety blanket.
But it's the thing that's kept you safe from so many things in the past.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So it's the same for all of us. Like we all probably struggled in lockdown because I did this from kayaking because I'm like probably a bad time period from 12 to 20. That's all I was known for. So like through your development period, you weren't known for the kid that like went out with this girl and fucking slept with her or whatever it was. I was literally known for. No one invites you to anything because you're busy kayaking.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you just label yourself, I'm this athlete. So when
Yeah.
you get to 20, you're like, the fuck am I here for? So like you'd always result back to the thing that kept you safe. And the same.
Yeah.
Training kept you safe. It saved you more times potentially than Mads did.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, you've helped me in 5 of these big situations. Bodybuilding's helped me in 16.
Yeah.
I think
Sounds a
it's
bit-
validating as well. Like, it's true. This is a bit deep now, but it's true. Like in a relationship, if you're not happy, Brandon can't make you happy. Like you have to be in like internally at peace and happy, right? And people have mechanisms of things that make themselves happy or what they think make themselves happy. And a lot of those things are control over certain elements of their life. Maybe that's bodybuilding was in Corey's sense. Like I'm a bodybuilder because I know that I have full control then. My day is like this. It keeps me alive. I enjoy it because it gives me validation. People say I look great. I've got abs. That makes me happy. That makes me feel good. And
So true.
in a relationship, you can put a lot of that on somebody else, but they actually can't make you happy unless you're internally there. So I think that people will often choose those like coping mechanisms, control mechanisms, things that externally give them personal validation over things that actually maybe are a little bit more important because it is a little bit deep, but it makes you feel secure. Like, and I think that was a total fair thing. That was probably where you were at that time.
Yeah.
it's probably a control thing, but I think it'll probably come back to upbringing as well. Like, for example, I'm a control freak. And I know that's because me growing up, I had to be a control freak. Like, I had to control everything for myself, even my parents. Yeah. So it was like, if I had everything under control, I was good. Yeah. I was happy. So, like, any hard situation in life, I'm sure you guys would relate, but if you're going through a hard time in life, you could go to the gym, you could control that session and just blank everything out. Like, it would always be your backbone to getting through a hard day or a hard time.
Yes. Like your escape as well. Like, even after you've had a really long hard day, you'll be like, oh, I've got my little release there. That's for me. Mm-hmm.
It's been really nice coming away from it though, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it did come with challenges at first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a bit like, come away.
Did you both kind of pull back at the same time?
It was through the time of reconciliation, really. We were almost, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but my understanding was we both, during our time apart, naturally needed a focus, and that ended up being somewhat a bodybuilding prep. Or just
we both just
we both like, all right, we're not together anymore, so we might as well be miserable on our own, right?
Haven't we all done that? Like, what are you gonna do? Broken up? I'm doing prep.
No, it was like we didn't turn to the ice cream, we turned to the Stairmaster, you know? Yeah, and
can't possibly cry. I've got a Stairmaster to go.
And
it's true though.
And as if we're gonna cry, we might as well cry over not eating.
I was like, calm, starting prep right now. I was like, okay.
And through that period of time of rebuilding and conversation, we almost came to understand that because of the pressure and the need to be selfish and focus on external factors of make sure your food's eaten, making sure that you're getting a good night's sleep. Like, you ain't going out and dating. Like, we redated. Like, first date, second date. Do I want to see you again? No, you are still a prick. Like, goodbye, you know? So you can't do that. I thought, unless all we're going to do is go out for coffee, like, we're going to get very, very bored very, very quickly, especially if we can't have a pan of chocolate, you know? Yeah. So we were like, okay, we'll put a pin in it. We'll try and be a little bit more, we'll try and explore a little bit more of doing different things.
Kind of like paused it. It was like, well, if we're still training, we're doing what we're doing and just eating maintenance. Neither of us ever been in like a maintenance phase. It was like, let's just like try and live here for a bit, and then we can just decide what we want to do, because that isn't serving us right now.
And we'll see how we get on. And then as a result, we were like, well, we want to do some fun things. So we went to some fitness classes because we could do it together. And it wasn't like me turning up at the gym and be like, no, I'm training pull today. Oh, but I thought you were going to train legs with me. No, I'm training pull today. So you just go, pew, you know? So we were trying to find things that we could do together without any pressure, but that was still going to benefit us physically, right? And then we got towards the end of the year, and naturally, I didn't get the pull Mads did, because you said it at the beginning of this conversation. Mads has achieved and accumulated so much progress in such a small period of time, and we had the honest conversation of like, all right, okay, the pro card isn't the validation, but the pro card can also be a confirmation of your hard work, you know? Like if you compete in the Olympics, right? Or you compete in an Olympic competition, going to the Olympics is the 4 years worth of training, right? If you don't make it to the Olympics, that 4 years potentially, if you don't even go to trials, that 4 years worth of training is a waste of time.
Pretty much.
Right? What's the fucking point?
It's
right?
bad,
So Mads is like, well, do you know what? I was quite happy to put a pin in it, because I understood that, you know what, no matter how good I am, I could potentially turn up and be beaten. Yeah. And I might not win the pro card. So I'm actually quite happy. I'd come away from it and come to terms with it and been like, but Mads is like, well, no, I put 5 years into this and I need to see something as a result. Yeah. So we did. We turned back into it, didn't we? And I sort of did it just because I can. I've got 12 years worth of competitive experience. I can fucking prep tomorrow. Yeah. Like, no problem. Yeah, I'll do it. And after 2-3 months, I was miserable. We hadn't been out on a date. We hadn't really done a lot. And I was like, I was quite happy 2 months ago. You know, I would go to a fucking high rocks class and we'd go for a pan of chocolat after, you know, and then we'd go for a roast dinner that afternoon, and then I'd go to bed and I'd wake up and I'd still be in shape. And now I'm eating less than I was then. I probably don't look as good, and I haven't had a fucking Sunday roast in 3 months. This is
Yeah.
shit. And
Yeah.
and Mads was like, well, fine, I'll quit then. It's all your fault. And she'll hold it against me for the rest of our lives. No.
No.
But right?
Yeah, a little bit. Do you know what it is? I've actually scripted something out about this, like a reel to talk about, because I think it's quite important that we go through life in seasons, and you two will probably be like this. Like, so you were competitive in another sport previously. Before that, you were a child, and then you were competing at a high level of something else, and then you've come into bodybuilding. You as well, like, you will reach a point where you're like, that doesn't really serve me anymore. That doesn't serve my life. Competing doesn't serve that, because I'm moving on to something else. For me, it was like, or for us, it was like, it doesn't really align in our relationship for us to, bodybuilding wasn't our life anymore. Like, work and our relationship and fulfillment in other areas became more important. So that really wasn't serving anymore. So it was like, well, actually, it was a little bit like the reason why I struggled to quit my job when I was like moving into coaching. It was like, I've done all this hard work to get here. So if I don't continue to see it through, all that hard work is a waste.
Yeah.
Like my degree, it was like, I've done that. I've gone through this grad scheme. I've been promoted to here. I really felt it hard to throw it away, but literally just turn
That's the
turn
way
my
we
back
think at
on
the
it.
time. Yeah.
Turn my back on it, because I was like, wow, I've put so much effort in to get here. Like, walking away from that is, what a waste of time.
Before materialising the result,
Yeah.
which is potentially MD.
Or whatever, yeah. And it was just like, I went to uni to get this degree. I busted to get on this grad program. I busted to get the promotion, to get relocated, to do all this, do that. Wow, for what? So it was a little bit like that. And then I came to realization, and I kind of leant back into it. When I did quit that job, I was like, well, it doesn't matter, because all of that is behind you. It's all the past. It doesn't even matter whether it existed or not. Where you are right now and what happens tomorrow is your future. So when you think about it like that, that previous experience, whether it happened or not, you're still here. So it doesn't matter. Don't be attached to that, because it's gone. It's been done. It's gone. It doesn't matter. Some people are attached to like old relationships. It's not serving you, and it's gone anyway. Like think about what your tomorrow looks like. So I was then able to be like, okay, that makes sense when I talked myself into that, because I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, that's now the past, and today and tomorrow is what's important. So what do I want my tomorrow to look like? So that's how I made that decision. And then with competing, I turned my back on it. It was actually a health related decision, but internally, it aligned with actually what I wanted anyway. It was just that helped me push to make the decision to just stop prepping, because we had mold in our apartment. If anyone wants to go and watch my reels about it, you can. But we had mold in our apartment, and it made me stop prep because my body wasn't responding. And that made me reanalyze like what I was doing. And I was like, is it even actually what I want? Or was I chasing that prep because I felt like it was the thing I needed at the end of all that hard work?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I've built all this muscle, I've spent all this time. Like, and I was looking at myself, I was like, I'd be really competitive in a pro qualifier lineup as figure guy. I actually would be. So I feel like I need to see it through. But why? Why did I need to see it through? Is it because I needed the validation of how I would look at the end? Showing off my hard work for who? For me or for somebody else?
Yeah.
Do I need the pro card? Do I need it for me to validate the hard work I've done? Or do I know I've worked really hard to get here? And that's given me a physique with a good amount of muscle that's actually could be in good health for the rest of my life. That's a good thing. It's taught me what I've learned. It's made me a good coach. Do I need to see that through? Or is it actually not that important and other things are important?
Yeah.
So it was just a bit of perspective on like why we do the things that we do. And I was like, no, don't need that. Obviously, been working on the health thing from the mold, but I was also like, that can be that chapter. I learned loads from it. It's made me a great coach. It's made me learn so much. And I'm in the best shape I've ever been in, which is also nice, right? And I can close that and be like, okay, now what's next? I'm 31, also competing for a long period of time. Like, does take its like impact on your health, male or female, like it does. So what do I want in my next 5 years to look like? So that made it quite easy, I think, when I framed it like that.
When you can sit back, yeah.
Yeah, when you can sit back and say, why am I actually doing this? And what is it for? And what does it mean? And that doesn't mean you shouldn't compete, everyone, by the way. But it's...
Far from it.
No, it gave me so much. I've loved competing. I still love bodybuilding. I coach loads of bodybuilders. Like, I've got people doing pro qualifiers this year. Like, I actually love it. But for me, it just got to a point where I was like, this isn't fulfilling me now for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
It's time that I step away from the stage, continue to implement all the good things that it's taught me, eat well, train well, like live this lifestyle still, but with a little bit of balance. And I think it's actually made me better at my business. It's made me a better coach. I'm less selfish. I'm able to say, I don't need to train today. I've got way too much work to do. That's what I need to focus on because I've got other things that are more important. And it's allowed me to be like, okay. And I feel way more at peace now.
Yeah.
Way more.
I think that's where you're kind of coming to, isn't it? I feel like you still got an itch to bring your best, but you know the best is when you bring it, you're like, tick,
Yeah.
done. Like
I
I've
think it's
ticked it.
important knowing like why you're doing something and where your priorities are towards. Like like with yourself, you probably, I don't know how you feel about it, but maybe you didn't want to continue competing beyond getting the pro card. So then what was the point of getting a pro card kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
Whereas
There was that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like with myself, I always wanted to be a good athlete because I really wanted to be I wanted to become a great comp prep coach. That was actually my ultimate
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
end of the journey, right?
To experience what you're trying to get other people to do.
Yeah. So like I'm kind of in a position at the moment where it's just like, yes, I'm still competing, but I'm actually not really trying. I'm not trying to get to the Olympia or anything. I'm not trying to be validated as an athlete. Like I don't really post on Instagram much. I'm just doing my training, doing my thing. Because the young goal of what I want to be is a great comp prep coach, right? I don't need to be an Olympian. I don't even need to be a pro to be able to do that.
No. And then you do it because you just genuinely enjoy what you're doing. You enjoy training, you enjoy the process. It fits your lifestyle. And even if you weren't ever going to compete again, would you do anything really that different? No. You'd still go to the gym every day and probably eat roughly the same macros, maybe a little bit less, but you'd probably like eat the same food and still go and train and
Just less upper body, probably.
just just
do glutes
aim
3
for
times
the
a week.
same. Yeah, 100%.
Glutes 5 days a week.
That's all I need to care about going forward. Yeah.
It's interesting though. Like I phrased it of like seeing through my bodybuilding notice. You know, that last prep that Mads was doing. I'm only doing it, number one, because if you're not eating, then I'm not going to eat.
Yeah.
You know, and I can do it. Why not? And eventually I just said, somebody asked me and I'm like, yeah, I'm essentially just seeing through my bodybuilding notice. I'm just seeing out my time. And they were like, so why don't you just stop? I'm like, Mads, I'm going to stop. By the way. Like, if you want to compete, that's up to you. But we had America planned, didn't we? We were going to go and compete in America. The last time we were in America, we were in New York. We did Texas. We did a couple of places, didn't we? Ohio, for me to compete. And we went to Madison Square Garden and I took cold, dry mincemeat and asparagus. And I was like, do you know what? I don't want to. We looked at the flights, didn't we? And it's not a money thing at all. But I'm like, I want to go on holiday, mate. I want to go. Like, I genuinely because I'm quite happy with the reality of not competing now. You know, I feel like I've more than had my time. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've rinsed it for. I can rinse it for longer, but I don't really need to. I want to be fertile. I want to have like a little girl. I want to start growing a family. Like, that's where I'm at. I want to continue to work. And
What about if she has a boy? What are you going to do?
well, you know, I mean,
Push it back.
you know, I was gonna say something really controversial then, but I remember.
I'm gonna pretend it didn't happen, and like, what can we do to? Hopefully, there's this thing.
I'm gonna be one of those guys that completely ruin a child's life because I'm
now
gonna
when
leave.
you do IVF.
Yes, you can.
You can.
But yeah,
It's illegal, I think. Well, it is in Australia.
No, here
but-
you can do it.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Oh.
So we can, So I was just like, I'm seeing out my notice. I don't need to do that. I don't need to spend the money financially to go and compete. I'm not really that bothered, babe. Like, if you want to do your thing. And then Mads got ill, thanks God. And here we are. And we never went to the States, did we? But yeah,
No.
it was good.
Yeah, it was about experience, I think. It was fine to travel America. I wasn't on prep then, was I? Was I dieting? Maybe I was when you were in America.
No, you weren't.
I feel like I was on
You started just
prep.
after America.
Maybe. But you're right. Like, we went to Madison Square Gardens. We watched an ice hockey game. Like, Corey's eating like cold mince asparagus. And there's like honey chicken tenders there and like chips. And like, why are we not sat here like with a drink, like with like a carton of like just game
I think
food? Like, why are we not doing
But I
that?
think that's a huge confirmation because there was a time where
You wouldn't give a shit.
nothing could stop
No.
me from being a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And eventually, call it getting old maybe. Like I've got athletes and clients who are like fucking die hard and they love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Then you can live it through them, which is
and
quite
I'm like,
nice.
I'm like, fucking
Yeah, I
go
enjoy
for
that.
it.
I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. Yeah, I do enjoy that. Like living it through them and not that I want them to suffer, but putting them through the prep and like seeing the result at the end and being like, unreal, we did that. Like, I'm fucking proud of that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I get so much more fulfillment out of that
Exactly. So,
than standing on stage myself. Like, I don't even enjoy competing that much. I really enjoy looking where I started and being a day out and being like, unreal. The whole competition stand on stage thing, I could absolutely leave it.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I love that.
I was
love getting on
always,
stage,
I know
yeah.
people say like, oh, I love the process. I actually just loved prep, the militantness of it, seeing my body change, getting peeled. Like I could get peeled.
Yeah.
I'd love that. I'd get like a day out, be like, I am absolutely fucking
it's not even the
shredded.
process, isn't it? I always think I just like suffering. Like, I just think
You need
like it's-
therapy.
yeah, no, I honestly, it's
therapy.
like if it's thing is though, it's like it's not really suffering because it's like the last time it was like, well, eat 2,000 grams of carbs every weekend. You're like, yeah, it's not really hard.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
still hard. But it's more so like you say, it's just that routine and that structure.
I think it's the satisfaction of doing it. Like, okay, so I have to eat that. Okay, I'll do that. Oh, I got peeled. Cool. Like, I would
Yeah.
love that. And when I got towards the end of prep, I'm bored. Like, I'm actually bored. I get to end of prep and I'm like, I'm peeled now. And I'm not bothered about standing on stage. Like, I feel like I've done it. I'm like, I'm bored now.
yeah.
So I get a lot of satisfaction doing it with other people.
It's funny hearing it because it's like I feel this is probably definitely where we said this before, broken, whatever it is. I still have
We're all
the
broken, don't we?
yeah, I still have the itch to be a pro athlete again.
Yeah.
And does that mean I'm going to be a pro? No, but
Yeah.
I want to be at that caliber again. So it's like it's a weird thing because I left kayaking when I was like, I feel like if I stuck it out for another 2 years, probably been like very, very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then also you've been like, there's a reason I didn't stick it out. Like you
Yeah.
said, there's a reason why like all the sparks started to go and
Yep.
kind of just drifted away from it.
Yeah.
If it was
there's a
really,
reason
if
for
it was
everything.
really important to me, I wouldn't have drifted away from it.
100%.
So there's
yeah.
still that bit of thing being like, I can prove myself wrong
Yeah.
slightly.
Yeah.
Will it work to my advantage? I don't know.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't. You're aware enough now to be like, if I don't like this, I'm done.
I had a bit.
Yeah.
I had a bit like that. You
Yeah.
know, I had non-fully materialized. Like most of my friends and the lads that I
it
grew
from
up
rugby?
with, are
Yeah.
all pro international players.
Yeah.
You know? They've played on the biggest stages in the entire world. You know, Lions have just been.
Yeah.
I lived with those boys.
Yeah.
You know, and so as a bodybuilder, moving into bodybuilding, I was just like, okay, I need to be number one. Like I need to be at the top, and that's probably one of the reasons why I continued to push it for so long. There was a period of time where I absolutely loved it, and I loved the chase and loved the reality of progression. But then I was just like, well, do you know what? I need to get over the fact that I'm not a world class international rugby player, and I didn't make it, or I didn't get there for whatever reason. I also need to understand that. Do you know what? I've had an amazing life, and I've learned so much. And where I am now, I would rather be where I am now than be I can't believe I'm about to say this, a world class rugby player and still have the issues that I would have needed to deal with anyway. Like I am so whole now.
Yeah.
As a person, as a man, like I genuinely feel like I can better and improve anyone's life that I come into contact with from being a better person myself.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy, and I don't need bodybuilding. I don't need rugby. Like I need a little girl who I can dote on.
Yeah.
Mads, anytime today, please. In all fairness, that's my problem.
That's your problem.
Yeah. Work, will you?
Nothing wrong with me.
It's that for me is now
Yeah.
the goal. Like
It's so funny because it's the same. Like my cousin played for England and now he plays for Scotland rugby.
Yeah.
And then my cousin plays for like Australia cricket, and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've got some do you know what I mean? It's the exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I still have those things like, I need to
Yeah.
tick off some boxes still.
Yeah.
But I think, definitely. I think the nice thing is when you get older and you experience the stuff you have with relationships and past sports and career changes and running your own business, you
Yeah.
have to become very aware of yourself, and
Yeah.
you grow so much. Like you said, there's been millions of chapters,
Yes.
and you're like, I'm not going to damage future chapters just because of a short-term
Yeah.
hunt.
Yes.
Which is just, I'm not the 1% of anything. I never will
Yeah.
be. It's that understanding, but I'll happily work to be that 1%.
It's also like, do you need to be?
Of course not.
Like,
no.
do you need to be? I think that I think life comes in lots of chapters. I would probably say I could segment mine into like 5 years, like about 5 years here, about 5 years there, about 5 years doing this, roughly, if I think about my time doing certain different things. And like, we're all still young, really. We're about 30, right? Like, so our adult life's only...
You're like, no.
Our adult life has only really been 10 years, right?
No, not about
We got
20
loads
miles,
left.
but-
We got absolutely loads left.
Yeah, we have that.
And I think that a lot of people in this industry are competitors and coaches, and they leave their jobs and they become coaches and they're competitors or they're bodybuilders, whatever, and they attach the two together. And I think there's an unhealthy relationship with some people continuing to compete and pursue things for a long, long, long period of time because they attach it to their worth as a coach or the fact they do this job. And I don't know what your opinion is on this, but I think that a lot of people really struggle to part the two or make a personal decision maybe about coming away from competing because they're worried about will it affect their business or will they not be a good coach or not desirable, and I think some people really struggle to come away from that and understand that it's about you as a person, it's about who you are, it's about being like what Corey said, like working on yourself, showing that you're more than just a competitor, and there's so much more to you than just being that identity. And I mean, you said it yourself, you attach yourself to this identity and it can be really hard to detach and leave that. And I think in this industry, that is a huge thing that people struggle with. Massive.
I like it because I think people try and pretend that there's something they're not in this industry.
Okay, yeah.
Like a lot of us, because I did it for a long time. I'm like, I posted a certain way, I spoke a certain way. I'm like, that's not fucking me.
No, yeah.
But to like, because I know coaches are earning and achieving this by doing this.
Yep.
Yes.
And then as soon as you kind of come away from that to be like, if you do things like this, it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours of like no edits, nothing like that.
Yeah.
This is who we are.
Yeah.
And I think if you can be like, actually, this is who I am. And you feel like then it's almost like a light shoulders because whatever decision you make, you know that for years you've documented what you do, whatever that is, you told your story. Making those changes, no one's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, good on you because you told the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think if you can just stay true to who you are the whole time, it's a lot easier. But it's hard. It's really hard to do.
You can evolve, definitely. It was a thing for me. I thought if I stop competing, will people not come to me for prep, for example? To make any difference.
Well, look at Cal's prime example, right? He did one show.
Yeah.
Terribly.
Yeah.
By the way, Cal, if you're watching, shit bodybuilder.
But he's arguably potentially one of the best prep coaches, if not in the world now.
Great businessman. Has built
Do you know what I
a
mean?
fantastic business from passion to get people to where they want to be, as opposed to try and flog a dead horse. And you know, he was never going to be a world-class bodybuilder. So do not waste your time.
But also, like if you look at the top of anything, like the top basketball coaches, the top anything, were they the best NBA players?
Probably
Well,
not.
none of us ever fucking heard of them.
Yeah.
But everyone, then you hear about them, and you're like, oh, Phil Jackson, he coached the US basketball team and he coached LeBron James and things like that.
Yep.
You don't need to coach LeBron James to be a basketballer.
Yes.
But why is he so good?
Yeah. I think it's in a bit of an ego thing, not deliberately, but I think people think if they're not doing well or they're not competing, people won't want to be coached by them.
Well, they won't be relevant.
I'll tell you,
You know?
people actually really don't give a shit about what you're doing that much.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck about what you're doing that much. They really don't. They might like to watch your Instagram stories. It might be in their head for like 5 seconds when they watch it and then it's gone. They don't care. And then if they're thinking about, oh, do I want a coach? They might think about you because they'll be like, oh, they got this person in shape or they did this or they did that. They're not thinking, oh, they got really peeled last year themselves on stage. Like, they don't care about what you're doing. They care about, are you good at your job? Do people talk well about you? Do you have good like references or referrals? Like, are you somebody that they would like to work with? They don't care what you're doing. And most of the time they'd actually prefer it if you're not prepping. Like, I've had that feedback. Like, my clients way prefer it if I'm not prepping.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be replying to them at 6 o'clock in the morning, so I won't be on the Stairmaster.
Yeah.
Like, way more available, relaxed, full of food, great energy.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit what I'm doing. They care about themselves.
But it's
So
the
everyone
same,
cares
like
about
we can
themselves.
literally pin you two against each other. We can be like, okay, so you've got two very good coaches here.
Yeah.
Both females, both very good at what they do. So
Yeah.
why does someone pick to work with Mads instead of Steph? I'm like, they like you more.
Yeah. they
That's
just vibe with you.
literally it. They're both going to teach you to go routes very similar ways. They'll get results with you, but they just prefer Mads more or they prefer Steph more. That's
They're
it.
Australian and English.
Yeah.
Good day,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, they just prefer her accent. You're like,
Yeah.
sold.
I trust you because you're from Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people do it in the UK, though, don't they? They're like, oh, you're like, if you're Americans
Yeah.
go, oh, you're English, you're smart. You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
bro, yeah.
But that's about personality and personal branding and stuff. And you're right, people try too hard, like posting a certain way, talking a certain way, do certain reels. You end up this
Anti.
like robotic sales machine.
So anti
Ugh,
that.
and everyone's like, ugh.
But that's why I hate, like, when I see, like, if I scroll through and it's the reels of, like, I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't ever do something scripted because I've never scripted anything in my
This
entire
is how
life.
to do a bicep curl.
It's like if you go, like, what are we talking about today? I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most.
Let's just have a chat.
Yeah.
Be-
And I get it. Listen, everyone's trying to sell their shit, but I think people just forget that people buy people, you know. So, and you cannot physically sell something you don't believe in. So if
Yeah.
if you're gonna spend hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of pounds for a media package for somebody to stand there and say, go.
Yeah.
Right, guys, I want to talk to you about why you have to dig hard in prep. And if you're eating no carbs, you just got to dig hard. You're full of shit, mate. Like, I ain't buying from you.
Yeah.
You. So you're better off just doing what you want to do. And we said this last time, didn't we? I express myself so much on Instagram. It's probably the only opportunity, other than the creative flair that I have from a coaching perspective.
Yeah.
It's probably the only opportunity where I get to be a little bit silly.
Yeah.
And really be me. And it's bullshit. And people will either like it or they won't. But I couldn't give a fuck. And sometimes I'll have one of the boys check in. And I'll be like, I might just have a look at wow, you've made a lot of progress. Post it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Inquire me or don't inquire me. I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm actually at a really, really good place now where I can take a client on and I really don't have to either.
Yeah.
Because I am at peace and I'm so, so happy with how life is. And if you come to me, you're meant for me. If you don't, and you don't want
Yeah.
to sign up for me and you want to go with Cal, Brandon, someone else, you do you, boo.
Yeah.
You know what? Because I ain't even worried about you.
I think you get to the point where you almost try and put people off you. I try and do that now.
Bro,
Like
I'm
people
just
say
like-
that, oh, I don't like
Edit
how you.
that bit out.
Yeah. People are always like, oh, I don't like how you swear so much. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Cool. Go find someone else then.
Yeah.
Or I don't like something
Yeah.
else. I'm like, sick.
I really like a sentiment from an incredible woman who we've both spent a lot of time with, and she talks about the womb to tomb theory. Right, it's her thing, and it's just like everyone's on the planet and everyone's having their own go. Right, and so
Yeah.
providing you just focus on having your go to the best of your ability, making sure that you're happy and you're at peace and you're content with what you're doing. You do that with good intentions, good morals, good integrity. You will have a fantastic life. And if you remember that, you will also be at peace because you'll know that everyone else is trying to have their own go at the same time.
Yeah.
Simple
true.
as that.
Yeah.
So don't worry. Do not worry.
Yeah.
You know, because like tomorrow isn't guaranteed, you know.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Like you're 30 years old now. Like you are.
Yeah, but it's funny as well. Like, it's a weird thing, isn't it? When you get, I even had it beginning of the week. I just got a group text. My nan passed away,
Yeah.
Wow.
and you're like, it's
Sorry.
weird when you get older. You're like, it hits you a lot more because you get to that point where
Yeah.
the older people now are leaving.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh fuck, and then you feel like more people are having kids because they're at that age.
You're in
and
like
it's
this
that weird.
transitional.
It's a bit of a
time.
weird thing when you see people passing away, and then you do wake up. You're like, well, everything I've got now is not gonna be hanging around with me when I'm gone.
It's
So fuck
actually
it.
irrelevant. Yeah.
It's so irrelevant. Yeah.
I don't spend. I do ask myself the questions. I don't do anything that I don't enjoy.
Yeah.
Ask Mad Site. Genuinely, I follow my nose and have a check-in with myself probably every half an hour still. And that's something I learned in therapy years ago. Like, how do I feel right now? Am I happy or am I sad? If I'm sad, I need to change it. If I'm happy, I'm going to continue to roll.
Yeah.
Like, and if I want to do something and it's going to make me happy, I will do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
provide again good intentions. Like, I won't do anything that will certainly hurt somebody or upset somebody or anything like that. But if I want to do something, I'll just roll with it.
No, but it's like even you said, you're like, oh, like what are you guys doing later? You're like, if I didn't want to do something, I'd be like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm gonna have a
Yeah.
quiet one.
100%.
Like because it's like, and when that's the thing you're gonna like, if you hurt people's feelings, you're like that's not my decision. Like,
Yeah, it's not
I'm
your
making these
fault.
calls
Yeah.
because it's like,
What you need.
yeah, it's
Your
what,
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Your
your
go.
go.
One life. Get to two and make sure that you fucking
And we
can
know
look
that.
back with some good memories. You know.
we know that there's people that like, oh, we'll sit and have like a day with, and it'll feel like an hour.
Yeah.
Or you're like, I know I'm just gonna have a coffee with this person for
And I've had
20
enough.
minutes, and
Yeah.
then that's my
Yeah.
dosage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is about like I said to you the other day, didn't I, about because we were going to meet up for dinner on Saturday, and I was like, oh
Don't
god,
do it.
literally completely forgot. And then like Corey was like been napping, and I was like, oh god,
Okay.
like should we meet on Thursday?
Yeah.
But you weren't like, oh, they forgot about us, they rejected us. I'm
Who
like,
gives a fuck?
we're literally
don't take it
super
personally,
easy.
yeah.
So sorry, we're a bit shit. Do you want to
100%.
meet on Thursday after we've gone to our
Yeah.
podcast? Because it's, I don't know, like we're just way more relaxed. I think we used to be stressy. I think you used to think a lot about what people thought about
all the
you,
time, yeah.
like a lot. What's their opinion? I used to think like that. Whereas now, I'm like, well, I've not done anything wrong there. Like, been honest, not perfect.
But then you don't
Doesn't
care how
matter.
they reply
And
because
then-
you've said
exactly.
like
Like
it's
not
just-
done anything wrong, so crack on.
Yeah, and if you got a fucking
Yeah.
issue, then have a fucking issue.
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
got the energy.
It's not your responsibility to how that person reacts. You can only do
Yeah, as long as you've
everything
acted
out of your
correctly,
good
you haven't been.
intentions.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, if you've obviously been rude, it's a bit different. But you expect someone to be upset if you haven't been very nice to them. But
It's hard to break. It is very, very hard to break that chain, you know, because especially if you do have, can you hear me, guys? Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that shit. But if you are someone who is naturally trying to nurture relationships because you come from potential broken down relationships, you have had emotional instability, you want to do anything to try and nurture a relationship, right? Now, if you do that, and some people call it people pleasing, some better people, Geraldine, for example, calls it self-sacrifice. You know, are you self-sacrificing for that person? Should you be doing that? Are you still fulfilled when you're doing something?
Yeah.
It goes back to that point of, am I actually happy in what I'm doing right now?
are you doing it for them?
Are you doing it for them or are you doing it for you?
For you?
You know?
Yeah.
And if you're doing it for someone else and you actually ain't happy, then get the fuck out of there. And that goes in relationship, like business, work, like,
Anything, yeah.
yeah, I'll go back to the point. Like, life is very, very short. I have this conversation. I've got somebody very, very close to me at the moment going through a huge transition in their life, and you're talking like relationship change, work and business change, where they're living, like all of that sort of stuff. And I'm like, tomorrow isn't guaranteed, you know, and you are sitting there with so much fret and worry about so much shit that actually doesn't matter. Like, what do you want to do right now? What do you want to do right
Yeah.
now? Just fucking do that then, you know? Because what's the worst that can happen? And it goes back to the point of like, providing you're not jumping off a cliff without a bungee rope, you know, like you're not going to die.
Yeah.
Like, so just attack something that makes you happy and just see how it goes.
So
Yeah.
it goes.
You know?
I know Steph gets asked the question a lot as well, but I think that's one of the things moving abroad as well.
Yeah.
I was just about to say
Because
that.
it's like little things,
here.
like even what you said, like, oh, like they didn't get angry. Like everyone that we know here or that we're friends with is very like-minded.
Yep.
But it's only because,
Yes.
but it's weird. But it's like people from all over the world end up in this weird
Little bubble.
hub we're all very like-minded. And why is that?
Yeah, but I think I wasn't this minded. I think that moving here and changing my jobs made me like this.
Yeah.
Because I was like, scared to leave my job. Like, I'd lived quite happy to move around the UK. I always had the idea I'd like to live abroad, but under some sort of security net. Like, if my job had an opportunity within my company that they could second me to Asia, then I would go, you know, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't just be like, oh, big random leap of scary faith. Like, I wouldn't have
Yeah.
done that, right? Whereas when the trigger was, and there's always a trigger, there's always something that makes you think life is short or whatever, without being
redirect.
too, without being like, I was never very like, oh, things are all meant to be, but I do think things happen for a reason now. I never used to
100%.
believe that, but I do now believe that. And I quit that job, and we were talking about coming over here. We'd spent Christmas here. Corey really wanted to live here. And for me, it was just all like, oh God, it's a lot. It's scary. Like I wasn't like sheltered or anything, but it was just a lot of change, a lot of uncertainty. And then Corey had his 2 heart attacks, and we were like, well, actually life is really short. And do we want to stay in this 2-bed house in Essex for the next 10 years? Do I want to be working in that corporate job where I never see my kids or my partner? And then what if you didn't live in 3 years' time, like, and we've just lived this same dead life that didn't really see you?
Yeah.
So, oh well, fuck it. Let's just give it a go.
And if it doesn't work out, guess what? We just get a flight home.
But that wasn't my thought previous to that. I was like, oh no, like scary. We don't need to do that. We're very happy. We've got enough finances, got a cushy life.
Yeah.
Whereas Corey's very much like not worrying about that stuff because he's always had his back against the wall and just lands on his feet to an extent, as in like, that's stressful, but I make it happen. Whereas I've been like,
Yeah,
oh
so,
no, I'm more
yeah.
careful. I've always got a pocket of savings in my bank account. Like, I've always got a car that I can get in to go somewhere if I need to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I feel like these relationships are way too creepy, man.
but I'm always like security. Like, I've got my car, and I've got my dogs in it, and I've got my bag, and I'm all right. Like, and I've got my savings in the bank, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Corey's like, well, I'll sleep on a bench, and tomorrow I'll be all right. Like, so he's not worried about it, right?
Yeah.
So he taught me to be a little bit better at just giving it a go. Like, it'll probably work out, because why would it not? Because everything else has worked out, because you're the sort of person that makes it work. So we were like, all right then. Within 3 weeks, the dogs are vaccinated, rented the house out, booked flights, filled a skip on the drive. And we just moved here. And I remember picking up the dogs from the airport about 3 hours after we landed. They landed. And we had this Nissan Patrol truck thing, absolutely fucking huge. And it had all of our stuff in the back. Had like 5 big big like sport holdalls in the back. And I had the 2 dogs on my knee, and we were like driving down Shakeside Road, and I was vlogging, and I was like, oh my God, our whole life is literally here. We don't have anywhere to live. I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
That's a really good confirmation of that sentiment of everything is working out for me, even when I can't see how at that very moment in time.
Yeah.
That is also a Geraldine Shields one as well, you know. Like this woman's mind is absolutely incredible. I hope she writes 15 books that she's committed to. She's like hunter mind like I am, so she never completes anything. But her ideology around some of these things, like that thought process of, you know, we landed in Dubai at 1:00 in the morning, went to Enterprise. We don't have Dubai driving licenses,
So they wouldn't give us a car.
so they wouldn't give us a car. So I rang somebody who we'd previously rented cars off, and he was like, yeah, I'll be there in half an hour. Gave us a Nissan Patrol, which was the only car we needed, based on the fact that we had 150 kilos worth of luggage in like body bags, and like everything's just working out how it's supposed to. Although at the time it's and obviously I have a different mindset as to why that is now, based on my religion and my faith. But everything is working out exactly how it's meant to, and providing you can keep the peace during the
keep
storm,
moving forward.
keep moving forward. Like, and throughout my entire life, I've had those situations. You know, and I said to you that sort of message from God that came through my dad, which was scary, because at the time I had a terrible relationship with him. But the only words of wisdom that has ever stuck with me from that man was, life isn't always going to be easy, but you just need to give it one more day. And like times where I haven't wanted to be present on this earth, times where I didn't see how I was going to be able to be present on this earth for another day, I'd be like, well, we'll just see if we wake up tomorrow. You know? And I wake up and I'm like, okay. And it was the same when Mads left me, you know? I realized, I don't know how I got through that time, like genuinely, and I know obviously from a personal perspective, it's very, very different. I don't know how I survived, and I'm sure Mads will feel the same, and both of you can probably relate, right? But after 2 weeks, I was like, well, I haven't really eaten anything, and like I've cried a lot, but I'm still here. All right, well, if I'm still here, every night when I went to bed, like I'd wake up with panic attacks, and I'd spend a lot of time on meditation trying to get myself back to sleep. Like I would do like 3-4 hours a day of like deep belly breathing, knock myself out. But then I was like, okay, well, we're 2 weeks in now, and I'm still here, and I haven't died yet. So maybe I should start picking my shit up, you know, and that shift can change very, very quickly for, all right, yeah, stormy at the moment, but it might not be tomorrow. So how are you going to play the next couple of hours? You're going to do something relatively productive? You're going to start putting one foot in front of the other, or are you just going to stand still? Because you can guarantee tomorrow you're going to be in the same place if you don't take that step.
Or flight to Dubai.
Or flight to Dubai.
But you're right. That has shifted.
Or pick up the phone and take me back. Take me back.
But that definitely shifted the mentality, I think, for me. Like I look at things so differently now to when I was back home doing what I used to be doing.
I think a lot of people are in the same boat as you, to be honest. Like, just generally, like people see what they've invested into things, like for example, their degree, how many years they've been in a company trying to shoot for promotions, etc. Like in unhappy relationships because they've been with them for so long. Maybe they have a house with them, so they don't want to lose the investment of the house, whatever. Like I think too many people get weighed, like they allow themselves to have so much weight
Yes.
that they won't ever release to be able to move forward and grow and
Yes.
actually be happy and enjoy life.
Yeah.
And that's the same. I think that's the same thing for actually leaving a relationship. Like, I really respect Mads for the decision that she made at that very moment in time, because her entire life and my entire life, our entire lives were completely intertwined. Like, apart from the fact of the house in the UK, like, everything was us. And to be brave enough and like breaking off a relationship, I know because I've been in a long-term relationship before, as well as we all have, I imagine, based on our age, and apart from you because you're 29 still.
It's actually true though.
Yeah, but yeah, like
11 p.m. tonight.
if you've had those major commitments, whether it be from a work and career and business perspective or relationship perspective, the scarcity is, oh, what if I can't possibly break that off, right? I can't break up my relationship because I spent 5 years here, 10 years here.
I do think that's the powerful thing with all of us though, because we've had the conversation. If you're unhappy, leave. Like, honestly, like, it sounds really blunt, but if you're ever unhappy, like, obviously you'd sit and dissect it and
Yeah, if it's
work
not
through it.
fixable.
Yeah, exactly. But if you ever get to that point, I'm like, and I think we both would. You're like, and you guys have, right? Like, I guess I hate using the word selfish, but I do have my own life to live.
Absolutely.
And if no matter how much work we do, if we don't align,
Exactly.
that's not your fault and that's not our fault. That is
Yeah.
absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But I want you to be happy and I need to be happy.
It's sad, but it's okay.
But it's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes when you're aware of that, each one of us, it makes it so much more special, the relationship.
Yes.
Because you work at it every day to try and
Yeah, if it's actually what you want.
Yeah,
listen
and you'll
to
work
each other.
towards it.
Yeah.
And you work towards it.
And you can't not respect it, right? Like, I think leaving a job is a really difficult thing. Like, walking into an office of, apart from the times where I've been sacked, I have actually quit roles as well. And you're like, by the way, I'm going to leave. Like, that conversation is really daunting, whether it is like your career or whether it is a relationship. But like, be brave, because you know what? If it's actually on your mind, please don't leave me. Trying to get out of here. Cool. Do you know what you were saying about being brave? I'm like, no, I didn't say anything.
It's all a lie.
Cut it. But be brave. Take the step, because if it's on your mind, it's on your mind for a reason. And if it can't be fixed, be willing to walk away, because setting yourself free also sets somebody else free as well. Mads leaving me was the best thing she could have done for me. That was a blessing.
Yeah.
And although at the time it didn't feel like a blessing, like, that completely, I said to you last time, transformed. Like, that year was more transformative than the previous 29 that I'd have.
Yeah.
Because I had an opportunity where I could literally wipe the slate clean.
Yeah.
All right, let's start again.
Not many people get that opportunity to start fresh like that either.
But it's because they don't take the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you're sat in an unhappy relationship, like, I think there is a biological clock thing there. Like, Mads hit just over 30. She was looking at our relationship, and I won't speak for you, but I can pretty much confirm that she was like, right, we're married now. Marriage can be ended pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, there's no issues.
Yeah, but is this going to be the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got potential 60 years, double
And
this.
I think as well, when you get to the point when you think about kids, you're like, it sounds really bad, but do I want a child with this person?
Yes.
Who's going to stay like this as well? Mm-hmm. And like, again, do that like a role model. Like, I always think this. My mom will never mind me saying that. Like, she's probably not picked the best people in life, but also as well, then it's that power of like, now look what you had to do and how you had to raise us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we are.
Yeah.
I am incredibly grateful for the reality of everything that I've experienced. So now I can give my children,
Girl, it's okay.
little girl.
Cement it.
Yeah,
You
sorry,
speak it into
yeah.
existence. It'll happen. It's fine.
so I can give my little girl the best life that she deserves. Point blank. Like, they won't have to experience all the things that I've experienced, because I've experienced them, and I was willing to change. And if it wasn't for Mads leaving and telling me that,
Yeah.
like, and also, I desperately wanted to change as well. I desperately wanted to be a better man. I want to be the best man I could possibly be. That is my sole focus every single
But
day.
that forced you to say
Yeah,
that.
but it forced me and be like, okay,
You were
like,
too comfortable.
yeah, let's put the money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were way too comfortable.
and that was the opportunity. And if I hadn't taken those effective steps forward to improve and better myself, we wouldn't have got back together.
No.
Point blank, because you'd have been like, well, you've proved me right. And that's a very, very powerful tool. And I don't think everyone should like watch this and go to their partners and be like, by the way, I'm leaving you. Like, boom, all of a sudden you're a millionaire. Thank God for that. You know, but it is give somebody the opportunity to change if they're not willing to do it.
I think, like I say, the power to quit is always a brave thing. People see it as weakness.
Yeah.
I remember when obviously you had to pull out of that prep as well. And I think knowing her personality, more so even now than then, like, I can't imagine that. No. It sounds really weird, but like people wouldn't get it. Like, sounds really, if you tell any athlete, like, you have to kind of slightly die, but you can do it. I'm like, I'll die a little bit inside. That's fine. Like, her ability to be like, okay, like 6-8 weeks out, be like, it's over.
Yep.
They're like,
Yeah, when you're that far down the line.
yeah, and you're like, I can't.
Good body recon though, but you look great in a bikini.
But also the same thing, flip side of like when athletes want to quit. I've got a thing with this. If people haven't got the minerals see-through prep, that's completely understandable, and like, you do you, boo. But I'm also like, well, if you've spent a year to 18 months, 2 years in an off season in a regimented fashion, but then you move into a prep and you're going to pull prep just before the end for no reason apart from the fact that it's hard. I'm like, I really not only feel sorry for you, but I feel sorry for your partner who's had to put up with you, probably being a neggy bitch, right? Moaning,
And you can't see it
changing
through.
their dynamics, and you can't materialize the end result because you think it's too hard. Like, that's very, very sad.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
with that.
I know what the pain feels like of being in the back end of prep. Like, we all do. It sucks, right? And the idea of seeing through another day is absolutely horrendous.
Don't put someone through.
Don't put a partner through a prep. Don't
No
put your family
materialisation.
members through
And
a
also,
prep.
you're doing them a disservice as well.
100%.
That's the
this-
point.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
Like, you're
supported
doing,
you that whole time, and then you just
and
pull
like,
out.
you have the opportunity then to, cool, we can go out and we can do this stuff. Now it's your time.
Yeah.
And you're saying like, I would struggle with that.
Yeah.
quit.
Especially when that's a personality trait thing. I'd be like, just
It'd be
fucking
really
weak.
hard not
Yeah,
to resent that, you know. Like, if you are going to have your entire life flipped upside down, which is what it is for the person, especially if they're not a bodybuilder. Like, if
Yeah,
your
that's
partner isn't
extreme.
a bodybuilder and a competitive
they don't
athlete,
get it. Yeah.
they don't get it, and you're like, why don't you want to have sex with me? Why won't you take me out for dinner? Like, why are you
It's the
trying?
ultimate form of like rejection, really.
It is.
It's a real like.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
can't
it's
very
be
hard.
available for you for the next 20 to 25 weeks.
Yeah.
What do you say to that? And you're like, no, babe, it's all right. I'll see it. I'll support you.
Yeah, if they're not a bodybuilder, they don't understand, and they're not going to. So you got to really respect that if your partner isn't in it as well.
Yeah. And they don't have to as well. That's the thing.
No, they
but then
don't
it's
have
your priority, or your job at that point is to make sure you still love them.
Yeah,
And you
take them
still,
for a coffee,
and you
make
still,
an effort.
you still make that effort.
I have a massive thing with this, and I have actually seen relationships from clients deteriorate after prep because they find it a struggle to revert back to the person they were prior to being on prep, and that's very sad. But one thing I have a massive thing with is like, I'll speak to the partner first, like, how are you? You okay? And no, I'm not actually, because your fucking client, my fucking partner, is shit. I'm like, it doesn't take a lot, regardless of how tired and hungry you are, to sit there and watch somebody drink coffee. Babe, you know what? I'm going to take you to Costa on an industrial estate, and I'm going to buy you a muffin, and I'm going to sit there and not eat.
I think as well, people
not
think
hard.
that.
And that goes a long way.
Yeah, I think people in a relationship aspects think the individual needs so much. It's the same, like, it's probably, we can both say this, like, you guys have your own careers, you have your own life and things like that. You didn't come into a relationship because you needed stability. You had all that. Like, you didn't need someone to pay your rent or anything like that.
Now, Mads needed some leaves rustling, feathers rustling. Shake my life up, cut. I got you, babe.
I was like, stop.
Okay, I'll bring in some drama.
I
It's
was like,
fine.
my life is great. Stop following me around. Like, I don't need you in it. Like, please leave
Take
me
a
alone.
tornado and go that way.
So then,
I was like, I'm
realistically,
at peace with my dog.
yeah, but that's it. Like, if you want to buy yourself a nice dress, you
Yeah.
can go do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an issue. So then it's been like, as we have to sit and be like, okay, actually, like, what do you want? And it's actually little things. You're like, okay, like, if you're in prep, here's some flowers. Why? Just because?
Yeah.
There's no reason for it.
Thanks, that man.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, like, but it's little things that we
Insta
forget.
shop.
When you're actually in a relationship for a long time, you forget the little things. And
Yeah.
you always should be like, actually, like, okay, get some flowers or whatever it is, or say, oh, you look pretty, like, whatever it is, or you look stunning. Like, 'cause
Just
that
randomly
doesn't,
order a coffee to the door.
yeah, but it doesn't go far. It's not hard, and they don't need much. Women don't actually need as much as I think people think.
No.
But you're right.
I'm
It's
pretty low maintenance.
Maybe we're just very easy.
We're very easy.
No, but it is
We're
true as well.
self-sufficient.
But then also,
Yeah.
like, if we had to be like date again, can you imagine dating someone that was like the clingy, needed you 24/7? Like, oh my god, please go have your own life. Like,
Yeah,
please be independent. Like,
Yeah.
I think it takes such a. Do you know what? All it really takes is thought. I think that's the saddest thing. You know, like there's 24 hours in a day. You can't think of that other person for more than a couple of seconds to come up with an idea of like I know lads that would point blank refuse to go to the cinema because they couldn't bear to smell the caramel popcorn. You know, I'm like, you're so selfish. You're such a selfish human being.
It's your choice.
Yeah. It's your choice. Yeah, if you decide to be
people
on prep,
make
you
it seem
decide to be on.
so fucking hard. I'm
Innit?
sorry, make
Yeah,
it
they
really
do.
hard.
Yeah.
I don't think prep's that hard, but
It shouldn't be. Like, it really shouldn't
I
be.
think
I
yeah.
do think prep's hard for it.
I think once you make the psychological decision, I think that's the biggest thing. Like, what's your motive? What are you doing it for? Have you actually committed to the idea? Like, I have had preps. Obviously, I've done this for over a decade, right? So I've had preps where I haven't been in it. I haven't been in it, and I'm like, I can't see the. Do you know what? The Arnold prep, the open prep, was probably the most unsuccessful prep I've ever ran. Do you know why? Because I knew I wasn't going to win.
Yeah.
Because I knew that it was just a tick box exercise. And I found it very hard. When I was a junior bodybuilder, when I was a classic competitor, I was unstoppable.
I just thought you would win.
Nobody can fuck with me.
I think we've had this because obviously, like for Steph, it's like you're a pro. Like you are a pro. I think it's weird how the expectations now for like she was like, oh, like just pretend you're an amateur.
Yeah.
Like just pretend you're an amateur. Train like you're an amateur. Like do this sort of stuff when there was no fucks given.
Yeah.
And like the outcome will always be better. Because
Yes.
like when you climb that ladder, you hear people talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
The pressure.
Yeah.
You're like, it's only a
Yeah.
pressure that you've put on yourself
Created.
that, and because you've have a fucking name next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
Don't forget the reason
Yeah.
why you're doing it is because you enjoy
Yeah.
it, not
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you are right. Like once you're a pro, not that you give up, but some people are like, well, I'm a pro. I know I'm probably realistic. I'm not top 1% unless I take a lot of drugs.
yeah.
I'm not going to reach the Olympia. And even then, like, well, I won't look good then. So like, I'm not going to reach the Olympia. So I'm just doing this to turn up in the middle of the pack for the next 5 to 10 years. Well, if you actually love what you're doing, it doesn't matter because you
Yeah.
just progress and be happy with your own progression and you like being in the gym. Like you wouldn't do anything different if you didn't compete anymore because you like it. Whereas some people will do it just because they're trying to
But then
be
it all stems down to like, okay, so what's your real problems?
Yes.
What's your real problem? 100%.
Yeah.
So many people bury, this isn't turning people away from competing, but so many people do bury like
Their
a
problems,
lot
yeah.
of their problems in being bodybuilders.
People do it all the time, yeah.
I actually
Put a
quite-
plaster over the wound or anything.
I actually really enjoyed this. The first time I've been involved in a sporting event, obviously me and Mads did the High Rocks Abu Dhabi, right? Like all of these sports have the genetic 1%.
Of course.
Right. And I mean, you know, from high level kayaking, right? Like some people will just be better. And there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter whether that's bodybuilding, whether that's high rocks, whether that's kayaking, whether that's football. But we turned up and I looked around, I was looking at these times and I was like, okay. And I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to give this the best crack I possibly fucking can.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it was fucking awful. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life. And I've like,
What was your time again?
52 minutes.
1 hour 13 minutes.
And
What
that
was
sounds-
what was some of the times on the board? I don't know nothing.
so
The
the winner,
fastest times were like an hour.
yeah, the winner of our group was an hour and 3 minutes. Hour and 4.
Okay. But that's
Yes,
quite a
hour
lot,
and
isn't
one.
it?
Hour and one. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's quick. That's running
That's
430
very
splits.
fast. That's very fast, yeah.
430 splits.
It's like elite
which is
speed, that
which is
yeah.
rapido.
Yeah.
You know, and like, I'm 107 kilos. I'm the biggest in that building. Fact.
Yeah.
From an athletic
I
perspective.
saw your reels, like
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
look
it
like a
looked
fucking.
obvious.
I look like a dumper truck with a nitros can at my ass. You know what I mean? Like I was moving, like proper steam train mode. But it was one of those where I was just like, I was really grateful to just be taking part in something that was a competition, but I could be humble about it. You know, and
We weren't trying to win. We
No.
just actually just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You put too much into bodybuilding to not try and win.
Yes,
I think there's something about a team thing as well, like especially coming from football, rugby.
Yes.
Yes.
I did a little bit of rugby, but it's like,
yeah.
it's the team aspect is very. I remember doing like early rugby, and it's just so different.
Do you know for us as well? It's interesting because you know kayaking. you've got to cross the finish line first, or within a time to win, right? Rugby, whoever has the highest number on the board wins the game.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
No,
it doesn't matter. And the same for High Rocks. Like, we turned up and I was like, well, I am in training. I'm hitting like 410 splits per kilometer. Like, I can move on a treadmill, but I'm not doing loads of shit in between that, you know? So I'm actually not running that at all. And I know I'm not going to win this. Like, and we hung with the top 5 for the first 3 labours, then we were in like top 10, and I think we sat like top 20, right? But we weren't crossing the finish line first.
Yeah.
No.
And unless we cross the finish line first or we get the quickest time, we ain't winning. Yeah, and that is actually really pleasing from an athletic experience of like, no, you didn't try hard enough. Like, you're still not good enough, but that's okay, because you can get faster in rugby. You can get fitter, you can get stronger, you can get more skillful, and as a result, you'll put another 3 points on the board, or another 5 or 7 points on the
The thing
board.
is, with bodybuilding, it doesn't even matter. Like, you can actually be technically the best on the day. You can be the best, and you don't win.
Do you know how many times
Like,
I've
and it is
actually stood there?
Awful.
I've stood there in the overall waiting, and I'm like, I fucking won this. I've actually won this.
Yeah.
It gives me goosebumps, because I'm like, at the Arnold's, I was like, I am the most peeled human being at this entire event.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm in the overall, and I'm looking at Kendall, and I'm like, I've beat you.
Yeah.
I've actually beat you. And I wasn't even looking at Class A, like, he was irrelevant, right? And I'm like, oh, that's not my number, right? That's not my number. And then at FIBO, same head judge, right? I'm like, I have absolutely smoked this entire event. Like, I've just beaten 24 guys in my class.
Yeah.
And there isn't anybody who will beat me now. And I stood there and I was like, that's not my number. You know? That's not my fucking number. And it's very, very hard to think of that, because I ate no carbs for months.
Yeah.
Like, I sat at 90 kilos as a 105 kilo bodybuilder in good shape, you know? I suffered for that. And for FIBO, mate, I was, the morning of weigh-ins, I was in the sauna chewing pre-workout.
What was your weight cap?
89. And I'm peeled at like mid-90s.
Yeah, fuck.
Like, bone.
How tall are you?
I am Class B. I got measured in Class B, but 170.
Right on the brink of Class B to C.
Am I 175? Yeah, about that.
Okay, yeah.
Literally on the brink. Like,
yeah.
sometimes it's measured just into C.
Okay.
I remember when I went to
That's fucking
Ohio,
horrible.
and it's interesting, right? Because if I had been a little bit more aware, and this is where, like, that whole mentality shift, I had no logic at all in that prep, because I had so much riding on it. Same sort of thing. Like, people get into bodybuilding because they think they're going to get paid 50 grand a year from a supplement sponsor, and that's going to change their life. Like,
If you're a bodybuilder, you'll be broke.
Yeah, bro. For
a long time.
The
You'll
dependency.
be wasting more time doing posts than
Facts.
actually making any money.
Right. The dependency on, like, oh my God, I'm going to be CBUM is so high. And the reality is, for 99% of people, because they're not that 1% genetic freak, it's not going to happen. But I got to Ohio and I weighed in. They were like, Class C. And I'm like, measure me again. Because I'd done everything to get to that 89 cap.
Yeah.
Whereas really, if I was Class C, I'd have had an extra 5 kilos to play with. And if I had logical brain at that, nobody could tell me anything.
Yeah.
Like, Joe was like, that's brilliant. Maz was like, that's brilliant. What, they measured you in Class C? I said, no, I told them to measure me again. And they were like, why? Why have you done that?
Yeah.
And then that
You
entire
compete at
prep,
Class C, then.
perspective, revelation, right? That's the lesson. It's just like, you look back and you're like, I was so fixated on this no surrender bullshit that I was trying to live by.
Yeah.
I missed the window.
Yeah.
You know, I was so fixated on the reality of wanting to be 130 kilos at 21 and be the biggest and best in the world, because I hadn't materialized that in rugby. I completely missed the window of classic. I was like, no, I'm not going to take the sensible, logical route. I'm going to be a fucking idiot and go for the hardest route and potentially kill myself in the process.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
It's a bit like the fit model thing. It's about, and you said you call it ego. It's
Yeah,
pride.
pride.
Like,
Yeah,
people are
the
too
biggest thing,
proud.
yeah.
Too proud. No, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it, because it's my way. It's my way, and people don't want to listen.
Yeah.
That was your biggest thing. Like, you were the most annoying person in the world.
Thanks, bro.
I love you too.
In
Yeah.
so many different ways. But you were like your pride of just like always, like you always would say like, oh, you're always right about me. But I wouldn't be. I would just be trying to have an alternative view with you.
Yeah.
Because you're so fixated on this is what I'm doing. This is like what I think. No, like this. And I used to say I can't have a conversation with you because you just wouldn't conversate. You'd be like, why are you trying to force your opinion on me? I'm like, I'm trying to have a conversation with you, but you're just like so fixated on your thing.
You know what?
So proud. Like, listen. Do you know what? I'm actually quite smart. Like, I'm actually smart. Maybe if you listen, you might learn something. It might be a really good idea.
Outside of perspective,
civil engineer, bro.
I love the phrase when you're inside the jar you can't read the label, and I have spent 28.5 years in the jar.
Inside your
I
own jar.
I can't see what's going on from an outsider's perspective, and I never have been able to.
No.
Like Mads and Joe after FIBO were like, you need to stop now. Like they intervention.
Yeah.
I was like, right, I'm going
We sat
next
around
week.
the table like this.
Yeah, I'm
Me,
going
Joe,
next week.
Jeffrey, and Corey.
Yeah.
And we were like, so I was like, Joe, we
need
need
to
to
deal with
speak
this.
to him
Yeah.
like
We
need
this
to
kind
team
of
up on
way.
this.
There's a
Yeah.
problem here. Yeah.
Joe, you know what sort of person he is. We need to do a soft approach. Yeah, we'll sit around the table. And Corey's like,
Hi. I'm like, so what's the plan for next week,
if
Joe?
you're not supporting me, this is what I'm doing on my own. And
so
I'm like,
I said-
are you? Okay then.
So we did FIBO, and they said, you know, Mads purposely booked a holiday for like the next day. She booked Cos, right? My favorite place in the world. She was like, right, I'm going to book Cos. Like, we'll do this, Core. And I'm like, no. I'm like, okay, all right, okay, yeah, we'll come out a little bit and I'll have a couple of weeks off. And Joe's like, yeah, knowing full well that my timeline's like 10 months of full on, like, get you fat and stable,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And then we got back from Cos, and we went to Fit Expo, didn't we? And this is the thing, from an outside perspective, everyone was like, you should go again. You should have won that show. And I was just like, you're right. We got back to Essex from Liverpool, and we were walking the dogs, and I said, by the way, Mads, I just want to let you know that I'm going to do Alicante next week, and you can come with me if you want, or you can't. It's entirely up to you, but I'm going to go. And Mads is like, I have wiped your ass for the past fucking 40 weeks whilst you've been fucking peeled, and you're telling me you're going to go to Alicante without me? Are you sure? And I was just like, yep. She was like, wow. I need a divorce from this man. You know, because that's the reality.
Yeah.
High pressure that you put on yourself and expectations. But I think at the time I was massively fulfilling a purpose and need that I really just needed to be at peace and happy with where I was and who I was. And also stop trying to be relevant in a world of people that don't give a fuck about what you're doing in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, 100%.
So many people told me to compete at that Fit Expo. They were like, you should compete. I can guarantee you, if I scroll back and went through the names of people who saw me put a post up of me in Alicante, not even placing, guarantee you none of them would have even liked the post.
Yeah.
And that's how irrelevant you are in other people's lives.
Yeah.
And why you should just live for yourself and do what you want to fucking
100%,
do.
man.
You know? Or do what your missus tells you.
Yeah.
That's actually a better idea.
Yeah, it's always a good one. I know that we're all getting a bit itchy and they haven't told us to leave, but I will wrap up because it has been probably 2 hours.
I hope you guys have enjoyed
I
it.
don't know actually.
Happy birthday to Brandon.
Hey.
Big happy birthday, 30th.
Ooh, scary. Anything else you want to add on? Is there anything else you want to dive into quickly before we go? Is there anything specific that's itching on your brain? Or maybe you just want a good reel?
I love that. Yeah, by the way, these are all going to be absolutely mic drop moments. Prepare.
No, I don't think so.
I really appreciate it, mate. I love spending time with you both. I think your views on life are absolutely amazing.
Anytime.
I feel like we all have very similar experiences in our relationship and outside of it, from the male's perspective and the female.
Yeah.
So it's quite
a bit
nice.
creepy.
Yeah. It's quite
we're
nice.
the better half, aren't we? It's wild.
No, that's the wrong
Well, we can speak
wrong
from
thing
the
to say.
same perspective, I think, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
That we can relate, which is really nice to have a conversation about. And hopefully, if you've watched it,
No, it's good. I was able
enjoyed
to
our
score
chat.
another one in 2 weeks' time. So if you want to do it again in 2 weeks' time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we
So-
should.
Maybe
if
we
you
should
watch
draft some
this and this goes
controversial
out, maybe,
topics.
yeah,
Do topics
or
from-
people can ask questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd
Or
be
we'll
quite
do it
nice.
on our stories and stuff like 24 hours before.
We'll do that.
It's a
Do
great
like at the
idea.
end.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
We'll come with questions. Couples questions.
How well do you
The
know your
highs, the
partner?
highs and the lows. Yeah.
We could do that game where you like hold up a pink or a blue flag or a little button, whatever they are.
I think we should
and
just ask questions.
time.
Controversial questions.
All right, okay.
I'll do whatever. We'll come up with loads of
I like
ideas.
this idea.
Yeah,
we can do
it's
it.
good.
What's the pink
Of
and
course
flag?
you do.
What's
Pussy-
that flag?
pussy
You know, like
power.
where you like don't face each other, you have your backs to each other, and someone asks you
Oh,
questions,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like him or her.
That's the. I've seen that with wedding. They do the shoe, don't they? Is that the shoe thing?
Probably all
Yeah,
the same.
something like that. Yeah, I've seen that.
Some shit.
As it's always, I'll use my podcast. As it's the 1% podcast. Steph, what is that one thing that is going to help someone tomorrow move further forward? You get to go first. Corey's got it worst.
Oh, we all get it.
Yeah.
Do we? Oh god, I'll think.
I had a
real
really
quick.
good one last time, didn't I?
Yeah. If you didn't watch the last one, you can use it again.
Yeah, go on. Fuck.
Do the hard shit. Yeah. Boom.
It's relevant. 100%. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. Well, I think that everything that we spoke about today is like, it comes down to taking a leap of where things are hard, right? When you guys hit a hard spot in your relationship, you did the hard stuff and did the hard work to grow as a person for your relationship.
100%.
100%.
It's
What have
very
you got,
relevant.
lads? Go on then.
I just had it, but I've just lost it now because you just distracted me.
Pulling it out of your brain.
No, I think my thing would be if you're going to do something, think about the reasons why you're doing it. Like, why are you actually going ahead with something? Is it because you really want to and it gives you purpose and fulfillment, or are you doing it for somebody else? Are you doing it because somebody else wants you to? Are you doing it for someone else's your own validation, or because of an opinion? Like, just realign. This is what I do now: is realign with myself. Like, is this something I actually want to do? Does it make me happy, and does it give me the purpose that I want for the person I would like to be in 1 day's time or 1 month's time? Like, what does that person look like? And am I making the decision that I'm making right now based on that person or for the wrong reason? And I think I do that a lot now, and I was really bad at that before.
I love it. It's cool.
So that's my bit of advice, my 1% advice.
Yeah, it's good. No one said that, I don't think.
Love that. I would go with a happy life is a peaceful life, and a peaceful life comes from acting with integrity, having good morals and good intentions. And if you remember that your life is to be lived on your terms and you follow those basic fundamentals, you will have a happy and peaceful life. Amen.
Nice.
I agree.
You
I just noticed your hair looks
You wanted
good.
a good reel, didn't you?
That is actually my
That's
reel.
good.
So you'll see this on my Instagram, Sleero.
It's the hair looks good as well.
Thank you. Yeah. The last time you guys saw me, I had a lovely head of hair. But behind the amazing flap that I used to hide all my bald spots. So maybe the next time you'll see me, I'll have a new head of hair without any bald spots.
Locks.
Praying for it.
Maybe.
Easy.
Should we go for some food? Celebrate your birthday?
We'll do that. That's it. What's the time now? 4. You got a call.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll head back and then we'll catch up.
Amazing.
We'll go over to your end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Superb. Lots of love to you all. Thank you very much. Thank you for Brandon for the invitation.
Let's get
Love
tripped out. There's
stuff.
4 cameras.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Ugh.